You are live.
Oh, you're already on. Okay, good.
He wasn't sure if you were saying go or he was saying go.
Yeah,
Right.
It's already going win. We will call our July 17th meeting of Newburg R2 School Board to session. And we'll open with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, I've got.
You have one? 'Cause I'm gonna run another copy.
I did.
Okay, never mind.
Okay. I
Okay.
did that. It's the one you copy.
That's, I did address that on it, but it shouldn't make a difference.
We have all 7 members here, April, so everybody's here. We're full quorum. We need a motion to approve the agenda as written.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Thompson, second, Mrs. Wells. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Motion carries 7-0. No public comment. We move on to the consent agenda. And our consent agenda are the minutes from the June meeting and our ledger through the end of June.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Thompson,
Second.
second, Mr. Birdsong. Any further discussion? Seeing none, proceed to vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Motion carries 7-0. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't here.
You weren't here. Sorry. Matt abstained because he wasn't here at the last meeting for the open session. So 6 and 1 abstention. I wasn't looking close enough.
That's all right.
Approval of the bills. In your package, you had a couple that came in late, so you had 2 things in your, in your package. Friday, when the packet came out, had all the bills done up. We're waiting on a couple. So the 17th date was a little early.
It happened.
So, yeah, about 5 or 6 bills on the one that you have extra in there, which is credit card bill. One of them's credit card.
Tony, you got anything?
I do. I would like to see a detailed bill on the Centos inspection for 350942. I'd really like to see what they're billing that, if possible.
I think April brought it. We were just talking about that bill this afternoon.
It's pretty high for
All right.
fire extinguisher.
Sounds like it's me,
inspections.
but I'd like to look at it before I accuse anything. Question on the checks to Raleigh Public Schools. I'm sure it's all legit. I just have no idea why or reason we do that.
2 kids that attend here that were in foster care stayed here, but foster families there. So it's a local tax. So that's them paying us. Does that make sense? They always attended here. So when the foster family moved over there, or when they moved into foster family there, they try to let kids stay. So the kids continue to stay here. So the tax effort goes to them because from that family, so it's paid to us.
Okay.
2 kiddos, I think, one line for each kid.
Fair enough. What else here? I don't really remember seeing these monthly phone charges. There's like 5 or 6 of them. Is that just a backup? Finally got paid, or this OMA, OOMA?
So yeah, that was a situation where we went into business with them. It's voice Connex deal, and they were the ones that were gonna supply this voice over internet situation. But they were not, we were having all kinds of issues. And so after trying to get them to kind of come to the table and fix things, it was causing us a problem. We needed to move on. So Dave made us a fix so we could move on. We're good now, but in fine print, off of a linked piece, off of the contract, said that you're still responsible for them to pull them out regardless if you don't.
Sounds like a company I would not do business with.
Terrible business. So we've noted that with Boys Connects, and I don't think they're probably doing business with them anymore anyway either. But now we're kind of obligated till we finish out that this year, I believe. I want to check on that, but I believe it's just a year. Gut wrenching.
Those were the only couple things I was.
What's it say on there? A lot of stuff.
Recharge, dry chemical, O-ring assemblies, $10 for an O-ring, that sounds like a great deal. A flag tamper-proof is $5 per seal. If I pay 5 cents for them.
Big one is just inspections.
I'd like to maybe get a copy of this and check my files. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously might have a lot smaller operation, but per piece would be the same. Just
Sure.
Maybe find
you
out
want a
if
copy right
I
there?
think it'd be
Thank you.
it says this, it's not cheap.
it's on a small operation. Like
Anybody else
that's
want a
there's more volume here.
No.
There should be, it
Should be
piece by piece by piece. Yeah.
They screw everybody.
Yeah.
Just
Who
FYI.
do you
Okay.
use?
Well, I use for uniform stuff, I use UniFirst right now.
I'm talking about fire protection.
No, I
Horsemeyer
didn't see
out of
that.
Jeff City, but I just know from my years of dealing with Centos, you remember what we just talked about this phone
We talked
thing?
about it for,
We just talked about this phone thing, had that link and da-da-da.
yes.
Centos will do the exact same thing too.
There's other.
They'll
there
raise,
are other
they will,
fire protection.
they will increase your
Okay.
bill by 20% and never even tell you why.
There's some other companies that we're looking at that.
Franklin County.
Franklin County, Merrimack, there's Marmock,
There's several of them.
Horsemeyer out of Jeff City, they're down here in Raleigh all the time.
Which one, what is most, what are most schools use?
Centos.
Centos, okay.
They're, they don't have a good
I've been a
MO.
name on it. Most people don't.
There you go.
Maybe that's right around.
But I'm poor, so I look at everything.
You got to.
Well, it's good too, because, you know, otherwise you just keep moving and,
Nothing wrong with it.
yeah,
Just like vehicles, so they look at it so long, they just keep raising rates.
right.
Thank you.
Nobody cares.
That would be great. I appreciate that. I'll do some,
That's right.
Pretty much.
I'll try to do a little research on that.
Awesome.
They inspect our food system and all that at the kitchen.
Same
You
thing.
cut it.
On kitchen inspection.
What's
Well,
that?
it's, most of them are about.
Every 6 months.
So 6 months.
That's, yeah, twice a year, insurance requires, making sure the fusible links are good and everything else.
I think hood systems are every 6 months.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's correct.
Extinguisher.
I've seen them.
Any other questions?
Doug, I know you just hate asking that
No, good.
every week.
It used to be me. I just ask all the time. And I just do it. Not me.
Now he just lets you ask and then he sees if there's anything
Yeah,
else.
it's all good.
It's like, I'll
That's you right
wait for Tony to question.
Good.
But it's, you
I ask
know what
them all
though,
the
Tony?
time.
It's actually really nice to have a new set of eyes looking at.
It is.
Yeah.
check
Well,
things over.
some things I'm not completely aware of, but some things I
No,
do
it's
have a little
great.
bit of knowledge of.
You were gonna ask about John Simley and the drinks.
Here in a little bit.
Well, I didn't.
See, I
We'll talk.
Tony's gonna have to pass this responsibility off the game.
I kind of figured that was for a closed session.
There a motion?
It's Sonic drinks is what it is.
I'll make a motion to approve this.
We'll do better with our details.
I'll second.
Motion, Mr. Birdsong, second.
Mr. Shear.
To pay the bills. Any further discussion? Yeah, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Motion carries 7-0. Voted.
I did.
I looked right at you. Okay. Administration reports, we have report from Ms. King.
Yeah, and I just did a letter this time, going over the two big things, budget and facilities. Just kind of walk through the adjustments that we could make at this point because SAT has come through. Governor signed the budget. Kept the SAT at 7145. I think we ought to adjust it to 7,000. We had left it at 6760. So I think adjusting that up is probably a safe bet at this point, and it still gives us a couple percent in there below, which is what they kind of came in with this year. And then our assessed valuations come out for Phelps County, so going in and putting that in, and since we know what it
Yeah, I have a
is,
nice letter saying,
as did I.
I got lots of them.
I'm.
Stack of letters that are going up.
And so that just kind of shows what kind of surplus we'll have in our budget once we put those numbers in. Gives us some conversation then for our salary schedule. And then just mentioning some things about our facilities. Completed the resurfacing, which I think looks pretty nice out here in the parking lot. And then our playground tuck pointing was completed. One of the things I want to mention to you all, the company that did the tuck pointing didn't just do the two-story, but they went ahead and did a bunch of tuck pointing all along the elementary, along the back, around the middle school. And so they really gave us a good deal, I think, for the money. And so,
Seem to be a good quality,
yeah.
not like
Yes.
the last batch of roofers.
Carl really did a big walk around, called them back and said there was something that he wanted them to look at. They came right back down, worked on that part again. So I think he felt really
We
good.
need to make sure we keep them in our phone book.
Right.
Rolodex.
Right.
I was glad to see the asphalt over there that they covered up the edge of the concrete where that post was sticking up like that.
Mhm, mhm.
I'm sure eventually some of them will
Right.
be tired.
And then, just the painting that's in there. That wasn't something I anticipated just because I just didn't have my head around the fact they were gonna do all that. So now that they have, and with some of our cracking paint, our soffits, some of them haven't been painted. Some of them just look pretty rough. Be a good time for us to put a good paint job on there. So there's some information in your packet about that tonight. Roof, I've only had one quote come in so far for the roof. So I just don't have enough information just yet to talk about what it's gonna take to correct the issues with the roof right now. And then inside facilities, they're just on schedule. They're working hard, getting things done, getting the waxing done, the rooms, the hallways. They will be working on two-story ag building next. And new gym padding is in your packet. I know that we talked a little bit about the curtains, stage curtains and rigging. We have a lot of quotes and a lot of information, but we're just not ready to bring that to the board meeting just yet because we're still gathering a few. The companies that have been giving them to us are theater companies. And after our conversation last month, I think we could potentially find some school companies that maybe would give us a little bit different look at those. And so we want to give time to do that. So I do think, regardless if we do the little gym down here, we probably are going to have to address the curtain at the big gym anyway, because it is getting to be a bit of a problem. So I think we'll have to come up with something there. But as soon as we can get more numbers nailed down, then I'll bring something and we can. And I think that pretty much wraps it up.
Questions?
On the gym padding, we do have a donation secured to Depot gyms
Can I ask
at no cost.
Phelps County Bank? So we were talking about that today and I updated.
I'll go ahead and
in the
prove
packet. That's
I mean,
wonderful.
honestly, it's just
That's
under 13
wonderful.
grand.
That's really great. Thank you for the
Wow.
work on that because that's exciting. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I think Mr. Simler's gonna work on getting the logo on the,
Yeah, I've got some
Padding.
contact info because they want to make sure they've got their updated logo on there.
oh,
Get
sure.
that out.
Did you see the one that,
Who knows?
I figured they wanted something.
Yeah. It'll probably be close because it's still PCB. But anyway, no, I've got the contact stuff to get to you.
Thank you.
And I'm assuming that'll be you.
Okay, any questions from Ms. Kingsley on her report or things that be on her radar?
Yeah.
Copy looks
It's
good.
really nice. Got an extra spot out here.
Paint
Did you
around
notice
this
that?
place, new asphalt,
As soon as I pulled in the first day,
under
they
20 years.
moved the 3 handicap spots down one more because there was that kind of open place right there.
We got one.
Slid another spot in there. Yeah.
Move on to our action items. First up is our fuel bids. Diesel. We had County Fuels, I think, was the only
Shooter.
we had, except they sent two different things to look at. One was a 1 year and one was a 3 year.
Is that what we have now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Start putting
County imposed.
9 cents over rack on that 1 year.
6 cents.
And 6 for the
6 over rack on 3.
I think that's correct.
Yes.
If I remember right.
yeah, that's very.
So I think you guys used them forever.
We have, actually. They've done us, I think, and they offer this every year. We always go with one.
Because it's not really a set price, it's just the
Right. it's just
over
what-
rack, whatever over rack is.
It's not a set price.
The freight, the tax is all gonna be the same no matter what. And they are putting additive in it, which is good long term
I think
for your
with
equipment.
the 3-year.
You know, we've done one because we had just switched to them, but
Right.
that's a good job.
I think they've done.
I don't think we've ever had to wait on them for anything. Yeah. That's the thing, I've never heard negative about
I
it.
would go with the 3 year.
Second motion.
Okay,
I'll second that.
motion by Mr. Brookshire, second by Mr. Shear to go with county fuel or diesel bid for the 3-year contract.
Date say 2024 at the bottom.
Anyway, any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to
Talking
vote.
about-
Yeah, that's a yearly bid thing or not.
I don't think so.
That's my only, something's dinging in my head that it could just be in my head.
I would think for.
Come over here, I can help.
Yeah.
Damon?
Ring the bell.
Hold
You
on,
help
I
him,
think
he's got
she
something
gets
there.
that
There we
How
go.
how certain?
Should have just talked to the boss, to start with.
She's pretty certain. She starts shaking her head.
I mean, I
She starts
don't think
speaking.
for transportation stuff, you would have to bid that every year. I don't even think you'd have to put it out for bid or something like that.
All right, we have motion, second. All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0.
Don't worry about
Unless they
Propane. In your packet, you saw 2 bids, one for barrel gas,
it. I don't see the propane.
hose.
I got it.
back out, it's 2 different folders. And then
Yeah.
fuels, there's the propane one and then the propane.
Oh, okay.
Because you're on your
I'm sorry.
phone, Adam.
I skipped one of them.
I forgot. I was-
Tank barrel gas was 162
They were
and hose was
Really?
140.
9.5.
the biggest difference was that Farrell specifically stated no hazmat fees or delivery fees, which is probably anywhere from, I mean, $100 a truck.
Hose doesn't cost.
And I don't know what
Hose
Post does.
doesn't charge us.
Okay. That,
Yeah.
that was my only, I don't know what Post.
Never has. It's not in the bid, but they never have charged.
Have we had an issue with them over the past little bit? Because I know they
Change hands.
changed hands. a little bit.
changed
They
hands,
changed hands, so, no, I mean, a little billing things, a little
Mobility
getting stuff
works,
on
but
time,
That's
but
gonna take a minute.
nothing else.
We didn't run out of propane, so I think
We
that's.
didn't, everything was fine as
That's a
far as
pretty
the
big
actual
price.
use of.
Yeah. 15, 20 cents. That's-
They kept us full.
They did do that. They did that. But even for us, we use them at home.
If you notice, they kept us pretty full.
It took a minute for us to get on.
We didn't have to fill last month,
No, last 2 months.
so then we caught up.
About 3.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Brookshire, second by Mr. Thompson to go with hose gas for our propane needs for the coming year at 1.4
Oh, I'm sorry, put it away.
1459.
1.49.
45495.
1459. 1.4 what? 495. Got it.
495.
Got it switched.
They'll
Okay.
deal with it.
1.495. Any further discussion? Again, none, proceed to vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Motion carries 7-0.
Just so you know, it just has to be bid on a regular or recurring basis.
Did you look it up?
Well, she's efficient.
We weren't- I just want to make sure I wasn't wrong.
And you were.
Something illegal.
I don't think she was, she was wrong. I don't think that was the motive. Maybe I'll look at this from the different side of the road here, Doug.
No one asked you to come. That's good.
You're going to hear about that.
No.
I know.
He's like pushing on his whole field tomorrow.
Anyway,
Anyway,
moving right
moving on.
along.
Review handbooks. In your packets, you saw the changes, which were just a few by Mr. Dunn, and we'll let him go over just a couple of those. Now, we're good at changing our cell phone to whatever the new cell phone is, which is not at all during the day.
Yeah,
Is that correct? Is that, there's still some discussion with that.
So we're still unpacking. There's a couple of things with the recent legislation, there's more than a couple of things, but particularly there's a couple of things we're still unpacking from the legislation that was just signed. I know we're still getting information for our attorneys. We got an email for our attorneys on the cell phone this week. We got a meeting with our attorneys in a couple of weeks, and we'll get some more information. We are working at revising that policy, and we've got a draft I think we're going to send or have sent to our attorneys to look at.
Perfecting it here and then seeing if he'll take a look at it, make sure we're good.
Yeah, and so,
But this is a subtle change, really.
so basically it is, you know,
Just
last year we
lunch,
moved
right?
it to where they could do it at breakfast, use their phones at breakfast and lunch. But now this policy is not at all. So once you get here, out of sight, out of mind. And that's going to be the case with any school in Missouri. I'm kind of surprised, I'm sure this with Ms. Kingsley, I'm kind of surprised that MCE isn't writing a policy and sending it out to everybody. They just want everybody to write their own policies, but it's a state law, which is kind of odd.
I
So
think you just have one that blankets everybody.
I would
It
think
was
so.
interesting. It was interesting.
And
that
so,
we got that
but we were able to put something together earlier this week, and we're gonna make sure that it applies.
And luckily, we're not too far off already, so.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not.
I would just, when you write this policy, I mean, I think it'd be, you guys have done it longer than I have. I would make sure when that, part of that policy, it says, you know, Missouri state regulation
It
law.
does, it does.
Yeah.
That's not a
Yeah.
Newburg thing, you know, where you don't get,
It lands a little bit different when we say it's not just now you're violating a policy, you're violating a state law.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so, and that'll be. something
State law
that
says,
So our policy is in line with state law.
Yeah.
It's just where it is.
And another thing too that's still pretty fresh from packing is the homeschool participation thing. We don't have anything to put in the handbook yet, but our wheels are turning on that because that law doesn't go into effect until August 28th. And I know I may be stealing some of Mr. Simley's thunder here. That law doesn't go into effect until August. I think I said it wrong twice. So August 28th, but fall sports practices actually begin before that. And so MISHA has put some waivers in place so homeschool students can begin fall sports practice on time. So they're putting stuff out. We've got to update our policies. We got to comply with the law. But one of the things I think is going to impact us is with that, there's things in place like if a student is academically ineligible or discipline-wise ineligible to participate, they can't just go homeschool and participate. So if they were ineligible and then they decide to go homeschool,
they're still ineligible.
at the date of their disenrollment from school, they're ineligible for 12 months. And so that's in place. But one of the things that is in the law is if we require a kid to take an ag class to participate in FFA, that doesn't change for a homeschool student. They would still have to take that ag class to participate in FFA. But what that really does is make them a part-time student.
Yeah.
We currently do not allow part-time students to participate. The law is going to allow that student to participate. I think we need to change our practice to not penalize the kids who may want to flex and don't flex because they want to play basketball or whatever the sport may be. And so I think it's going to cause schools, and we're going to be one of them, to get a little more lax in that policy where we have required, you've got to be a full-time student to participate in any activities. I think this law is changing that. And so I think that's something that we're, we've had some conversations about that we at least wanted to, bring to you guys too. What we don't want is a student to say, well, I'd like to work, but I can't work because I want to play sports. So I'll just go homeschool so I can work and play sports. And then we've lost that kid.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah, that's gonna take some ingenuity a little bit there for time management and all the other
Yeah.
stuff too.
I don't think it's gonna, as far as doing that, they're still going to have to meet the mission requirements. If there are students, they're still going to have to meet the mission requirements to participate. Some schools are already allowing part-time students to participate. We just haven't. And so,
Do you think we're gonna have a whole lot that want to?
I think we're
I think we'll have more than we think.
Pandora's
I
box.
think we're just opening the door to
It'd have to be in the
have
district.
less kids in this
They
building.
do
than
have to
we've ever
live in the
seen.
district.
I
And so the
agree.
homeschool students will have to submit a proof of residency to be able to participate. But I do
I'm
think,
trying to see how that would even work. I don't think they'd have enough time to be part-time work and still meet practice and leave requirements for sports.
I think it's a case by case situation.
That's a hot mess is what I think that
Yes.
is.
Yeah,
All the way around.
it's opening some
Create a
doors.
lot of
The law is
conversation.
opening some doors and stuff for sure. And what I don't want to do is penalize our kids that are here. Where, you know what I mean?
But you also don't want to penalize the kids that are here, that come to school every day because they want to participate in sports, but we've got two over here that don't really want to come to school, so they're just gonna kind of halfway do it so they can still play sports. That's not, that is not a level playing ground in my humble opinion, to be able to do that. Because I know where that will lead to.
I'm gonna have to see your thoughts on that and see where that goes from here. There's gonna be a lot of work in there.
Be a lot of ADs retired, I'll just tell you that.
Well, one of the things
Yeah.
about homeschool is the parents or the guardians determine if a student is eligible to participate. We don't have any oversight in that.
Yes.
Well, but homeschool is different than part-time student to me. If you're homeschooled and you live in the district, yes, you can participate in, a sport. That's pretty cut and dry.
I see your point where it also keeps us losing students to go full-time.
Well, but
Possibly.
But this law does allow students to become part-time and still participate.
That's what I'm getting at. I'm afraid that there's gonna be more.
Yeah.
Jump
Yeah.
to that because they're gonna, best of
Yeah.
both worlds.
Because if they've got to take an ag class to be able to do FFA, then the law allows for them to do that. And so then they become a part-time student.
So
But
then
does the
we
law
have-
say anything about part-time students in athletics?
No,
Does it define that?
Yes. Well, currently, it's a school, even before this homeschool law, it was local school decision on how to handle part-time students and their participation. We've not allowed part-time students to participate. I think what's happening is this law allowing homeschool now is opening more doors.
But do we have to abide? I mean, do we have
Well, we
to?
would if homeschool. You're
Well,
right by the law.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the homeschool is a separate issue.
No, what he's saying is, so we have a homeschooler that wants to do activities.
Mhm.
We require that they do an ag class to do those activities. When they come and take that ag class, then they're a part-time student. That changes that whole dynamic.
But I'm talking
They're
about
homeschooled, but still at the
sports.
same time a part-time. But ag is doing ag and stuff, all that other stuff is kind of the same as mission requirements. You're getting
Well,
close to everything
Ag
requires the
doesn't,
same.
FFA doesn't fall under MISHA.
No, but we
it's
still
similar.
kind of require the
It
same
falls
thing.
under-
So what I was saying is that there are some loopholes there that
Yeah.
would create, to allow kids to become part-time students to participate. Because this law isn't just athletics, it's all activities.
Like band and.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
so-
band is mission.
So if they would have
Well,
to
it's
take a
under
band
the
class
river of
to
activities.
perform a band, then they would have to come here and take a band class so they could perform a band.
Well, that's not gonna be happening, so we don't worry about that.
And so,
That's gonna be a mess.
And so what I don't want to see happen is a kid say, well, I really like to work, and so if I can go homeschool and play, then I'll go homeschool and play, and I can still work. Whereas right now, we don't allow that, and then we lost a student.
Would that fall under the, they have to wait 1 year to play? Or is it-
We're still unpacking some of that. Right now, what I read is if they're ineligible and they think that they can just go homeschool to be eligible, then they have to wait 12 months.
But if they are eligible and go homeschool, they should be able to just play right there.
Still unpacking that. Don't have
But that's very possible, or that's a possibility.
Yeah. I don't.
And if they would just put a 12-month penalty for that, say, you can't, you know, if you leave school to homeschool, you have to wait 12 months, that would cut back on the potential of
Squash.
people,
Yeah.
that would squash a lot of those,
Well,
I want to be
Even
part-time.
6
But only if the law allows that. 'Cause if the law doesn't address that, then once they go homeschool, they're eligible.
I understand that, Mr. What I'm saying, if they had put that in the law, that would squash a lot of this.
I think that's kind of defeating the purpose of why they made the law.
Yeah.
What I don't like is a kid can be homeschooled. We've got a kid here that's gonna get a diploma from Newburg that we're gonna tell to not play ball. We've got a kid that's homeschooled that's not getting a diploma from Newburg. We're gonna let play ball. That bothers me.
I'm with you on that.
So an example would be, say, a student that goes to WCC in the morning, that could get back at lunch and go work for 3 hours at a family business and come back and go to ball practice or go to a game. Right now, we don't allow them to participate, but a homeschool student's going to be allowed to participate, you know, and so, you know, there's some things there that we've become now more restrictive for the kids that are here in the seats than the kids who are not here, not in seats.
I mean, I think it's a big difference. So if you're going to WCC, you come back and then you go to OJT, which is what I grew up with, and then you go to practice versus you go to homeschool, then you go to your job and then you come to practice. That's a big difference. Being enrolled in, you know, WCC versus being at homeschool. As far as I'm concerned, WCC is still a part of our district, what we are.
Yeah, but we don't allow that.
We don't allow them to.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't know why we wouldn't on that, but we would have to, for a kid that went to homeschool and said, well, I'm gonna work for 3 hours and I'm gonna come to practice.
So
And
the-
never step foot in this building.
So that's what I've opened up there is
Yeah.
changing our practice from, we're currently not allowing that to allowing that because of now
Yeah.
the law getting more lax in participation.
Because I'm with you, because I surely don't want to, I don't want to seem like we're penalizing our students here when other students can do it with really no obligation to anything. At least they've got a 50% obligation to it, you know, and
They still have to show up to school. If they're
Yeah.
flexing, they're still turning into pay stubs. you
and
know,
if they don't
all
cut
that
the grade at
stuff.
WCC, then they don't play. I mean,
Yeah,
it
we're
all,
saying they're eligible, not the parents.
yes, so that
Yeah.
that fixes some of that issue a little bit. But, oh, man, that's a mess.
It is, yeah.
Goodness
But
gracious.
I think it's something we've got to toss around.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. We have to look at it from all different aspects.
You think we'll have answers by?
The start of the mess.
Practice.
Well,
Here's the first answer. and that's
we meet-
July 17th.
We meet with the attorneys on July 20th.
So there's no way they're gonna have this all.
Well, we automatically, we're going to start allowing homeschool, so the question would be,
Is it for?
Basically, it's gonna be
rewrite?
interpretation.
we've got
That's what.
And that's a week before
You know,
practice.
Job.
if I've got a
I
student,
don't think we should.
if I've got a senior who wants to flex and still play sports beginning in the fall, are we going to allow it? You know, and that's really where we're
I'm
at.
gonna say yes, because
Yes.
if homeschool can do it without
Yes.
any obligation to us, why would we
So
penalize
we need to
someone?
we need to look at our
I
policy.
think that's. the
I don't like it, but I do,
Given the
we have
line
to.
field,
Your taste of it, I would,
That's
how it should
I think you'll find it.
I don't like that.
But I mean, if you guys are,
I didn't say to do anything, so.
I know. So is that like a special before the August meeting? to
Well, if we had a feel right now.
Rewrite that policy, because that's a policy change to allow a part-time student.
Not policy. It's not policy.
It's handbook.
It's just procedure.
It's just
So
It's
handbook.
just a
they can
handbook
change
thing,
tomorrow.
right?
Okay.
Which is your living document,
That's his change. He can change it tomorrow.
or your living document.
and so
Do we
we
approve that though?
We look at it.
We review and make
We
it.
review it.
You don't
We don't-
approve.
We don't officially approve.
Is there any funds that come with this homeschool activity? Accommodate, to be able to,
For them to play with that.
be able to coach them and support them?
Our funds to be,
Any requirements we place on them, we have to place on everybody else.
Zero.
that's a really good question, but yeah, the answer is, yeah, zero.
It's
Just
just,
being
there's costs
perspective.
associated
Yes, there is.
with the child.
There's a
Yeah,
uniform, there's
uniform.
equipment, there's coach, there's
Transportation.
you gotta ride our bus, and they're not enrolled in our school.
Do we get,
So,
Right, there's a
so
lot
we're
of
liable,
We're liable.
we're liable
It's an expense.
for a student who's not
that's,
enrolled in our school, which currently, if you're not enrolled in our school, you're not gonna be on a school bus, correct?
Yeah, we won't be able to say that anymore.
so let's just put it, remember, these are people
just
who've
so-
never been in education that are all of these
Oh, I get that.
rules that we have.
I've only been in
to follow.
education for a year, but I'm smart enough to figure out what,
I know, but they just say, do it.
I think we
do
have.
it.
They're gonna
I truly, I don't like it. but I think
For
it-
presidency, yes, but you know, we're probably gonna have to create a packet. You know, just think about it. It's- We won't have
That
that.
we,
We have to have a physical,
that this can
Well, our,
move like our.
They probably don't have that.
So,
Allow them.
Totally kidding. I'm kidding. You're homeschooled, you're up.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
you okay? I'm a hundred
Really, not you
percent.
both, but you did.
I thought you
Hey.
were, no, I misunderstood.
Mr. Dunn, I think this conversation, hearing around the room, I think if you could go ahead with the idea that we would be okay with changing our procedure to a
I
part-time.
knew I'd be practicing.
Yeah.
No, and if we got kids responsible and wanting to do it,
If
then
you
go
brought
find
that
one.
next month,
Should
as
be penalized.
how it was gonna
if
be,
They don't have anything else to
I
take.
think
They're
we would,
seniors.
I think we would all be on board with that. Now, we don't approve that necessarily, we don't vote on it. But listening to the conversations in the room, pretty sure that we're all gonna be okay with that change for the part-time situation, which kind of clears it up a little bit. That way we don't lose that kid. But-
you know, like some of the language, we're still waiting on.
What do we consider a part-time student is what I want to know. Is that 3 hours, is that 4
I
hours?
think
What
it's
is
2
that?
hours.
What is that?
Well,
It's two. I think
well,
it's
right
2
now,
hours.
at Flex, you have to be in the seat for at least 2 hours.
2 hours, okay.
And so again, some of the language, we still got to figure out, we have to visit our attorneys, just like with the cell phone thing.
Sure. You get a little,
Yeah, and we finally did get some stuff from the attorney, I think, on Monday, I don't know if it's Tuesday, I wrote
Yeah,
something out
early
or
this
something
week.
like that.
Yeah.
There are a few more things.
let's get past that. We can spend all night on it.
Yeah, there's a few more things in here, just with the,
Talk to your neighbor.
not as many changes in the handbook this year. You know, last year we had a big revamp
Yeah.
of the handbook. And so, just a few highlights here, just updated some things like added the sped director dating to the administration part. We updated the schedule in it because we're removing more time from our schedule, so.
That's good stuff.
So how much does that add to your?
3 minutes
He's
of
not
class, so
making
like
any
4 minutes the first hour and 3 minutes every other hour. Wolf time really created more issues than it solved.
I think that was an okay move.
Not much pushback on that at all.
Can, just a question, food for thought.
Yeah.
Are we ever gonna have to look at a point when we're looking at staffing issues?
You know, we looked at that a little bit even for this year. There's some challenges with that. You think about the multiple challenges. I think with kids transferring in, they're typically transferring in from a 7-hour day. So transferring in schedules, it's a lot easier if we were 7 hours. From what I've gathered, the last time we did 7 hours, we had teachers. Right now, we really have to put together a good transition plan because credits for graduation would be different for all.
Which we did
classes.
when we went to 8.
Yeah, and then, one of the things that does concern me with going to 7 hours is the reduction of available courses for our kids. Because we're already got a smaller staff, and now we're asking every teacher to give up one class. And so what class would that be?
Well,
I
my
think that
thing is,
creates-
let's say we lose 3 teachers, are we gonna still be able to offer the same number of classes? My question is, are we eventually gonna have to go maybe to that? because we don't have enough teachers to offer those classes. Does that make sense?
Possibly, but I see it as offering 8 allows us to give kids more options. Just because, like, what ag
That's,
class.
that's
what
fine.
ag
I just
class-
wanted to make sure we're
yeah.
good. I didn't, but I don't want our kids to
Yeah.
have 6 hours of PE a day.
No. Yeah,
6 hours of PE, only doing PE 1 hour.
Going
Stay 8. You'll have a kid get going. And he could be.
You could make
Yeah,
the transition.
That's not a problem. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
it
That's
could
what
happen,
happens.
we would just lose opportunities.
You just lose numbers, that's
Let's see, update the graduation requirements for clarity. You guys already passed graduation requirements a few years ago, but the handbook wasn't very clear on that. I just updated the language to make it more clear. This is the last year that we have a class not needing foreign language and graduate honors, but that was still kind of, it wasn't clear in the handbook, so we just updated the language on that. We didn't have a deadline to request early graduation, so we talked about that earlier in the year. And so figured the first Friday in November would be a good timely manner, so we have time to get it to the November board meeting.
Perfect. Yeah. Why that we did, because I thought we had talked about
We did,
it. Instead it did.
yeah, we
I
did.
think we did.
Yeah, so
Okay.
when we discussed a couple of early graduates last year, you know, it came up.
Kind of went off his radar, so we just added it for this thing.
Well, we've done it before, but this is before you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought we had it in there,
It's before you.
but somewhere it got.
I think we discussed it.
We've
I don't
been
think
through
we
this,
invited
so
them.
it's good to have the data there.
Because I think
Great.
last year, at least when I got
Yes.
here, it was more of a
So, I
case
don't
by
know.
case
That's
basis
good.
kind
I'm
of.
glad you got it back.
Wasn't a, hey, this is, submit your paperwork by this date.
Yeah,
It was
just
for you.
allows us to process it in a timely manner.
Yeah, I don't know where.
Another thing,
Yeah,
right
we
now,
don't
it says, the handbook currently says, all students are required to meet graduation requirements at the close of business day on the last day of school prior to the graduation ceremony. Basically means the Friday of graduation week. But by that time, we've already had graduation practice. And I think that didn't really align with our practices. Our practices would be, they need to be eligible to graduate on Thursday, so they know they can practice for graduation Friday morning. And so really, we're just kind of moving it back a day. So say they need to have everything completed by the day before graduation practice, you know, basically.
The day before their last day.
Yeah. Because we tell them they have to be at practice to walk, but we could have a kid in here trying to finish up requirements, you know, so. Add an ISS as an option for tardies for first offense. Vaping, one, if they share, we have 2 different consequences for vapes. One is just possession or using, one is sharing, or any kind of distribution where you're sharing, selling, whatever. The distribution was an automatic 10 days of OSS. Changing that to 5 to 10 days of OSS, because there are some variances in there. The 5 days is still more than the 3 a kid gets for just using. And so it does increase the penalty for sharing. Like if I bring a vape and my buddy and I are on the bus and here, I want to take a hit of that. You know, there's more of a consequence for sharing. Had been 10 days, but maybe provide some flexibility there for different cases.
It's across the board.
It was 10 days before.
It
right?
was.
He's the one to make it, he's got. Is what I'm understanding.
Opposed.
Well, that's fine. We don't, the current policy doesn't separate sharing with a buddy and selling. So that's where I felt like the range might fit. I'm not opposed to keeping the 10 days. We had a couple of those this year. Where we just share with buddies 10 days. I'm not opposed to keeping it, but it's just.
I understand your thought process, sharing versus selling is,
Selling seems a much harsher, much.
yes, I
higher
would, to me,
penalty, potentially.
It's all the same to me. If they have it any way, shape, form,
I
10
wouldn't
days.
mind. I think it stays 10
That's
days.
how I feel. But that's just me. I don't. But I wrote this for too long. 10 days, any, they even look at it, I'm fine with 10 days.
does it make more sense to go 5 days for using, 10 days for sharing and selling? Instead of
Yes.
3 and 10, because there's a big spread between 3 and 10 days. So
What's your credit,
I'd like
to earn a credit in class?
If it's used 10 days.
What you know then.
I have any possession. It's just anything.
OSS doesn't.
Didn't want automatically.
OSS doesn't count against absences, they just can't make up their work while they're in OSS. So they have to take themselves out of the academic.
How bad was it this year? Like,
We got several. I've got a bunch in my office.
He's got enough of
We
them.
probably didn't get half of them, but I've got a bunch in my office.
Bathrooms.
I
So they
had-
need to be not.
I had two that were sharing. Two that were sharing, I think.
I think he just wanted something
Maybe I'm not
different between
understanding.
them.
I think all he wants is something to, he can do it 10 days, is all he can do. That's the main thing, right, Doug? is
So you're just wanting a way to
You want
enforce
something
strong.
heavier for selling,
Well,
right?
Sharing.
Sharing.
Yeah, versus.
I could do 10 days, so anything above 10 days would go to.
Right.
Tracy. But, we could definitely put something in there separate for selling, as far as separate sharing and selling or distributing, giving it away.
Selling or distributing.
Um,
I'm good with whatever you decide. I think you understand where I'm at. They have it 10 days, if they look at it 10, I don't want to go any softer by no means, and the harder I think, the better.
I can live with that.
But maybe there should be a separate policy if you truly are selling it or distributing it, and that would automatically go to the higher ups to make the decision. Because I think that's
I'll revisit that. I'll look at that a little bit closer.
if you get kids start selling that stuff in here,
Well, they are, it's just hard to catch
You
that.
just got.
but you gotta catch one or two of them and unfortunately, they gotta have an example.
As it is now, though, if there's a chance that they could get a easier time off, it's
Well, that's what I'm saying, if we did a separate selling distribution policy, and that had to be determined by the higher ups, more than 10 days, because he's limited to 10 days. That's what I understand. It would be an administrative decision
I'll
if
take,
you were selling it.
I'll get that a little bit closer. I'll have something next month.
I mean, I give 15 days for selling it.
So this says first offense, and so can you tell me what would be the second offense currently for distributing sharing per day? Is it more than 10 days? Or is it a second round of 10 days?
Pull it up here.
Because I don't recall. Well, they're gonna get at least 5.
Yeah.
Change
10 to 45 seconds.
on the second, okay.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah,
we
so
have
they-
did we have anyone who met that 10 to 45 on the second offense this year?
So if you catch them once,
I only had, I think, 2 that shared it, or that were caught sharing it. But
What do we
yeah, 2
do,
that were
what do we
caught
do
sharing.
for use?
But how many repeat
First
Peters?
offense was 3. I don't know if we had hardly any repeat offenders. May have been for using.
Yeah.
I'm not recalling any repeat offenders for using. Well, I'd say there's 1 or 2. There was 1 or 2.
There had to be.
There was 1 or 2 for sure.
So I can pull out a name. I'm-
So it's 3 days plus when they come back, they have to do a class, right?
Yeah.
Is that
And
correct?
so that's part,
Yeah, a little
they'll have 1 day in ISS to do that. We did have at least 1. There's 1 or 2 that were repeat offenders, but we didn't have very many.
so on the repeat offender, do we need to stiffen the
Penalty for that?
consequences there?
So the using, let me pull it up here, is 3 days. It says up to 3 days, but I did 3 days. Second offense was 5 days. There's only 1 or 2 kids that were repeat offenders, I think.
So is it 3 days out plus the 1 day of ISS?
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
actually a 4-day penalty, but it's just 3 days out plus 1, and or
Correct.
5 days out. plus
I think after the first time it ought to be 10, the next time it should be 10 days. Using.
I
That's
don't,
my
if
personal.
what you have is working, I don't know, it doesn't seem too, like, we don't have too many people repeat.
I think that's,
I'm kind of like Matt. Honestly, I would rather on the distribution sharing, not lower that any less than the 10. I would really like, I think it should be that. I mean, to me, vape is a drug. It's the same as most anything else, and it's just bad. So I think leave it at 10, and then we go 10 to 45 after that. That's just me personally.
I'm still not opposed to a heavier consequence for the distribution and sharing.
So separating, so right now we have two categories. So what I'm hearing is, okay, so we have a category for using and possessing, a category for sharing with the buddy, and a category for selling. And so maybe add a third category to that. And I can put something together for that.
I think if you're selling it, that got to be the 10 to 45 somewhere in there, every bit of it.
Well, and that was part of,
That's
that
what you were
was
trying
part of
to
the thinking
accomplish.
here was to get a little bit
Trying
of
to
flexibility
Well, but you got to have
between
some.
the sharing and the selling.
We like to define the difference.
Yeah.
And then we can
I
do that
think,
with different
yeah,
penalties.
because using would start with 3, sharing would be 5,
There you
and
go.
selling would be 10. It's kind of where you were going with that.
But if you separate it out, then it's much clearer that that's what he was trying to say.
We could add a third category.
I like 3, 10, and 10 plus. I'm telling you, the vape stuff is bad.
It is, it is.
You realize how bad it is?
Oh, no. If they see what we see while we're talking,
I don't have a problem with that at all.
How about coming in and presentation?
dude, it's horrible.
I'm serious, I don't think they have, there's adults around. They really realize what they're doing is they're raising little kids. I don't think they realize
What it's doing to the guns.
what's gonna happen to them in the next 10 years. So I wish we had a better.
You're gonna bring back something
I'll have something.
on
for-
this, that
Possession.
Yeah, I'll have something.
we after school starts.
It's not for me.
I've got an idea
Just to
what
do
you
the
guys
early
are
August.
looking at. I'll have something put together.
Maybe saying
I see the,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking down the road.
Probably, it's, if you're looking for the next 4 days.
I remember when I was
20th.
6th grade, I took 10 days.
well, I don't know that would stop it. I understand it's the thought process. But, you know, that's,
I'll let you guys know, we don't want to make things worse than what they are. We don't want to do that. But adding that third category.
I'm different. Hard and soft.
and I get that. I'm not saying to drop it any less than anything we already have. I'm looking at it.
Let's do
Is there
that.
stiffer,
Yeah.
should we have stiffer consequences for more
So
abuse, what I would consider higher
what
abuse?
we're gonna ask,
Friday update.
just asking Mr. Dunn to do is put together that separation, send it out. Since we don't approve that officially, let's just send it out as on a Friday night, on a Friday update or whatever. Then if you have feedback, please feedback. If not, say, okay, and he can go on with it, getting that put out there. We wait till the August meeting.
Could be after.
to-
After school.
It won't take long to put something
Okay.
together.
to help put something, you know, that way we can go from there.
Tomorrow's Friday.
That sounded good? Yeah. Most people open their email 7:30 in the
I'm
morning,
just
so
kidding.
you need to be ready by 7:30 in the morning. Unless you're Mr.
You
Brookshire,
have
and his is pretty.
12
pretty-
hours.
But it's also
He
good
didn't,
for me
he
to
didn't
hear
hear you.
your all's thinking on this.
You
stuff,
bet.
too. So,
And we appreciate you taking our thoughts in what you're doing, you know, because it's got to be a collective effort. Matt and I might not agree exactly, but we agree in principle that there got to be stuff going on, you know, there has to be,
Why is he always going to get you?
because he's right next to me. And
Conversation.
I want him to feel warm and fuzzy.
One thing about it, he always knows where I stand.
We don't want to open the door to increase issues.
Yeah.
That's conversations we had when we're looking at adjusting things.
You bet.
We had that this week, and so we don't want to open the door to increase anything.
Anything else on the handbook?
I don't think so, not for me.
Good with that.
Appreciate all the time.
Thanks,
You know,
Mr.
that's an
Dunn. That's
undertaking
a
every year.
It's a lot
fun
less-
stuff, isn't it?
It's a lot more last summer. It's,
Yeah, last summer was.
Yeah, because you pretty much wrote a book
Yeah,
last
you,
year.
pretty much, you had your hands full last year.
Okay, we'll move on to letter C for action item, to the budget amendments. What Mrs. Kingsley put together was 3 different changes to the budget. And address those separately, you can address those all as one. I would suggest we do it all as one. Good, that way it's all done easily and changes are made. So we'll kind of go through them one by one, just so you see it, know what's there. So the first change of our budget would be for the Phelps County taxes amount, correct? Okay. Talk about that.
Yeah, so we had last year still in there because we didn't know. So we just had an anticipated 6% increase in that. Well, now we know what they are. So I took the 6% out, made it 0, and then put the new amounts in there. So that we have a clearer picture of what our the impact is going to be on those.
On that line, we're still only saying we connect
89?
89%. Even with that change, the dollar amount, 89% collection rate.
And
Okay,
then you can see the adjustment it makes. You can read along. Updating that AB.
questions on that change? Okay, that's kind of an easy change. Go to the student advocacy target, which went from 68 something, 67, 62, 71 something.
45.
I think Mrs. Kingsley is saying take it to 7,000.
Some are going on to 7145, but
We didn't
to
get
be
the
a little
full amount.
conservative, yeah.
We didn't get the full amount last year.
About 99% of the 6760, so
I don't think we've ever budgeted. Very long time.
wise to be a little conservative, I think.
Agreed.
So
So we pulled back,
2%
pulled back
is-
a little bit,
probably in line with what they're.
up to 7,000 instead of 71.
Which was still better than what we weren't sure about 2 months ago.
Right.
You're right.
He signed it, so
You're right.
that puts it into effect.
At least we know what the number is.
Know what the number should be.
Should be.
Which is an increase. So.
It is.
So then you see how that impacts.
Okay. Questions on that change? And the last one is,
How many was that based on enrollment? What? On the, not that our enrollment's been to get to the 60 grand, what you're saying. What number?
Are you talking about the SAT?
yes,
Yeah.
We use 6760 is what I had previously.
asking how many.
No,
But how many kids?
The number of students.
Well, we're using the second preceding year right
Which
now.
one? That's what, which one?
373, I think is what it is.
I'm just trying to. What's gonna happen? That's it. Have to be less, yeah.
So ADA of so that's based on an ADA of 308.
Probably low.
The weighted ADA 374. Yeah.
74.
Yep. Yep, that includes summer school.
I'm struggling through the weighted ADA and the actual ADA to make the math out. Talk about that some other time.
There's a formula that
Very,
builds into that foundation formula, so that you plug it in, it gives you a number.
Yeah.
They'll
But
tell you-
shorthanded, it's very difficult.
You can't shorthand it, hardly.
can show you
You just get,
there's a tab
just
on
take
it.
the dollar amount that you get and divide it. Just get it. That's not really how it works.
No,
Yeah, because they don't, you can't make it out to make it.
No, not on that.
Changes all the time.
Okay.
One of those
my concern.
One of those
is
problems
the ADA that's coming.
That's correct. And that's the one big concern that I have. I think everything is pretty right on. We've got what we're expecting for we have better numbers, I think, than sometimes an estimate. Yeah, it is an estimate, but I think they're pretty right on. Thinking ahead to our ADA, that is the only concern that I really have, is that at some point, we will live with our current. And so we're going to get less in state aid. And since we already have the small schools grant in there, that's not going to save us. It's in there now for us, and it's really helping. But we don't get an additional, it's not going to ever increase. So that is the only big concern I have moving forward, is what that could do to us. So what I did was I figured what our current ADA was this year, plugged it in here to see what would happen if that increase that I penciled in there was what we did, to see how would that impact us that year that we have to use our ADA now. And so at that point, that number that's on the plus side, that's a 57,000 right now, with all these changes in there, so that's this year's. If I plugged in that 88 instead of this one, that takes that number to negative 136,000. So you can see, if we kept the
How
same
big
number
would
of staff members, what we would have to do there. Have to trim down staff, which you would, but you can only trim down so far. Kind of to go back to the conversation you were having with Doug a minute ago. We might be able to trim a couple at the elementary with one class at a time. You still have 2 grade levels with 2 teachers. So those numbers keep staying low. You potentially have 2. But then
we'll have to play into eventually.
yes,
It's very.
and I think that you hate to trim down the 7-12 staff, but we did, you're right, maybe the 7 hours.
I just wasn't sure how close we're getting to that. Was my main question.
Probably trim down there before we do here. But, so that's what ends up happening. So if we went with that much of an increase, we might have a little bit of a hold your breath. Maybe we won't want to do that.
It already looks different. Teacher. Some of the core classes, we might be able to be easier than some of the specials. We share specials with the elementary.
Mhm.
Now we're looking at removing maybe an art class or an ag class, what is that? Where are we going to take away? Definitely something could be done, I think. We have to do, but we would end up losing some.
No, and I'm not saying that we should do that.
Right.
I was just
Try not to
curious.
until we have to.
I'm just curious where we're sitting.
So that, what I proposed, the amount I put in was truly based on where we are right now with the increases we've had. And if we were going to share some of that, I would like to see it go to our staff. However, that is a big old jump, so may not be ready for that. Also kind of consider that we've been sitting at the 40,000. This year they added in 46,000 as the base salary for a master's degree for 10 years. I just think that those two numbers are probably going to increase over time, and trying to close the gap a little bit on 40,000 is wise in my book, but maybe I'm flexible. I just want you to see the full picture of it on what we could do, and then what that might fall out into when we start using the ADA from this year. And then maybe there's a spot in the middle that we could come up with that might be a little more reasonable. That would be,
There's just a lot of unknowns.
there's a lot of unknowns. The other unknown.
And
that-
now we're talking about trying to do with property tax.
You're right. And the other thing that we don't know is this task force that they put together, what's that gonna do to our foundation formula?
They're wanting to revisit that.
We don't exactly
change it
know what's
around.
going on there. I can speculate what I think, but I don't really know what's gonna happen there.
Till it comes out.
No, and I think, to speculate, I think they're gonna come up with something, and then everybody's gonna go, what? And there's gonna be a lot of conversation around it, and it's gonna be tabled for a while, but at some point,
It's gonna
something's going to happen that's gonna change.
same
the money
with,
we
I think,
get.
open enrollment eventually. It's gonna make its way.
At some point, it's going to make its way, so. And once we go, we don't come back,
That's
and so,
But on the increase, we're still getting reimbursed from the state, anything that we're below the 40,000.
you're
So
correct, and I wouldn't wanna lose that. I'd
I
like
wouldn't
to,
want to do anything.
The only thing is, if they ever took that away, our jump would be so massive. That to me, I think we ought to try to be
I
at
mean,
least
I'm not
within
saying we
reason.
can't budget for it, but if reimbursing is the difference, then why? I mean, that's like,
There's a strong case for that.
yeah, it wouldn't make.
There's a
sense
case
to
for
me.
that.
But
And then there's other people that say, we have to figure out how to make it work. We've got to figure out how to trim our budgets and shift things and resources
I mean,
to
in a
make
sense,
sure that
it's
we
free
can
money.
do. You know what? Yeah,
Because if you, whatever you move up, they're just gonna take away. If you don't move up, they're gonna give it.
that's exactly right. You're exactly right. So
That's
that
just-
makes a
I
case
just
for not
can't- I
moving.
just can't make it, I just can't process that in my head as far as moving.
You know,
out.
that was our discussion last year with this, and that's why we created the Wolf addendum,
That's true.
was so we didn't lose reimbursement, but we still caused some separation in that pay. And also, I mean, even for a second year student, we gave our second year teacher, we gave them a few dollars for sticking with us.
We did.
But we didn't change our base, so we didn't lose.
We did
Changed quite
change
a
our
bit,
base.
Yeah,
a
we
little bit last
raised it about
Mm,
1,000, I want to say.
year.
Yeah,
Thousand.
just because we were so far away from it. And maybe that's something to do again, is
So when-
raise 1,000, so you're
But-
just getting there, but
I
you're
don't
not.
know. I personally have a problem with it because we're just eliminating that money we're getting from the state. And the only people who are going to see that difference is if they were to change the 40,000 to required next year and we have to do it all. Or the 7 people that we have over that. And no one else sees it, but except for a number on a piece of paper. And we cut ourselves out of that $1,000 for roughly 23 teachers.
They do see it though in a monthly, a little bit of a monthly income increase.
Yeah, but I'd rather put it on the addendum and then they see it more at once and
But they do see
over
It's more
$10
real.
a paycheck. That's my opinion.
$100 a month is $100 a month.
I get it, you're right.
They won't see $100.
When you're making 33.4, 33.6, you get paid for the year. We raise you 1,000, so it's $100 a month. which
They're
is
not
quite
making,
big.
they're making 40,000.
Well,
But
when you
but
see,
on their pay
you'll get that to
for
the
12
June.
months, they only get 33.6. But they get one check of the
Yeah.
difference. So in their monthly income, they're still living off that 33.6. And we haven't increased that in the last 3 years.
We increased
I
it
wanna-
last year.
I would like
I
to
thought we
raise it.
increased it last year.
Yeah, we
I thought we
increased
just
it
did that.
$1,000 last year.
Up until last year, I think you hadn't increased it. Yeah, just last year we did make an increase. Yeah, so then
Does
you all
that
had
have to be
frozen at
paid
that spot.
On one payment?
That's just how we chose to do it.
I know, but we can make a choice.
I think we can.
There are districts that do that. It just confuses then what our pay is and what the state's giving. You know, because I think the reason that Newburg decided to do that was to say, this is our base salary. We're not paying you 40, we're paying you 30.
Seems like Amy told us something about that.
Mhm.
Talking about it.
We're
She
talking about-
called
I
me
wrote it
and
13.
said- She said
So why
something.
don't we divide the
Well,
extra 10,000?
In case they didn't come through and give it to you.
Yeah.
That's what the fear is, if they don't give it to you, like with SAT, we didn't get the full amount. For some reason, they run out of money and they say, no, we're not
That's
giving it
why
to you,
we
we already
talked
gave
about
it.
that. Make sure we did get the full funding.
So
That's
it's
how
held
we kept it
off,
there.
but I mean,
Now, you
Why
could
don't we-
possibly give
why don't
half of it
we
in
divide it?
December, wouldn't that be nice?
That's what I was thinking. Do
Give
you
half
do
of it in
December
December,
and
finish
June?
the other half in June, then they get to see a little bit of the benefit.
And then it helps at Christmas.
It's divided
The
out
ones
over
who
the
get
year.
it,
Yeah, I'm with that. I
The
don't
ones
know
who
why
don't,
we can't divide
then-
that over the year.
they don't get that, so then that's kind of a,
It seemed like they really liked it this year, though. I mean,
they like
because
it.
honestly,
There's a lot of happy people running around
this
in
is
June.
just numbers out there.
I would be
Honestly,
too.
we have
It'll work.
18 people who get $250 out of this extra pay. We have 2 more people that get the next 750 or what, 500, 750, and then it jumps up. We have 7 people who get like 3,000. So for them, it may make a difference monthly. But the other ones, that $250 over 125 at Christmas and 125 now, does that really make a difference?
I was thinking you were talking about the baseline grant, but you're talking about giving the addendum over the course of the year.
You were
Me
talking about
personally, I don't want
the
to change
state
the base,
difference right
because
now.
I don't want to cut, I don't want to cut the state reimbursement. I would rather change the addendum and we keep our state reimbursement in. And then if we have to eat it one day to jump to the 40, we have to eat it one day.
But when we do have to, we'll think about when we didn't have to eat it.
If we eat it, it's gonna cost us $325,000.
No, we can't eat it.
If we have to eat it, it's $325,000. As
Three
of,
hundred twenty-five thousand, whether we,
Would it be then and not over the course of some years, I guess?
as of, 33/6,
Well,
we
Yeah.
stay at
but on
36
that-
and
So
jump.
we can't eat it.
$325,000.
but on that,
We can't eat it.
it would be, you said over the course of years, it would be more.
Yes, we
No,
can.
that's
We
what
have
I'm
enough in
saying.
reserves.
Yeah, I'm agreeing,
We could,
that's what I'm
yes, we
saying.
could.
If we did it
You're right.
sooner,
That can be
it'd be
between
adding
now and
each one that we.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we do it now or then.
And I
if we
really
can
kicked around
sustain it
the
or not.
addendum.
It's still the same question. It's just how much do we eat at one time? Sustainment's a totally different question.
Yes.
Yeah.
How much we eat at one time is a different question.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if we
Because
do
of
it in 3 payments, if we can't sustain it. It doesn't
Because of
matter.
it's a different question, because of the 40,000.
Do it.
Now,
So, but, that's the big thing. Is
In-
myself, I just hate to cut out.
in your packet,
I hate to give up any state.
the numbers that you're looking at in your packet for the budget is with the changes that you saw for revenues because of Phelps County collector, because of the SAT changing. You saw that changes the revenue a little bit. That brought us up to like 170
172.
to the plus. Somewhere in that range. Then with that idea of raising the base $2,600, that brought it down to $57,000.
That cost $105,000.
So it costs us $105,000 to make that change if we decide to do that. Now, looking at the numbers that we're going to use for SAT in the next 2 years, we're going to continue to go down. We won't be getting as much in our foundation because of that. We won't get as much in our, because our numbers go down. We're pulling a big number right now. We're pulling a much bigger one a year and a half, a year, 2 years. But anyway, we're still gonna go down. So, to me, the 26 is a little high to try to jump to all at once. I like the idea of giving them a little bit more money per month. Yes, I know we lose some money on the grant side. I get that.
Well, but we can still give it to them per month if we just divide the 13 check out.
Of course, we can do that.
Well, why can we pay it once and not multiple times?
I guess we could. It'd be a payroll
What if you did it
additional
every
payroll
quarter?
every month.
Additional payroll?
Every time you pay, it's a payroll.
Sure. Yeah.
So it'd be an additional payroll.
It would not have to be an additional payroll. You could put another line item below, like you do a stipend. You could put it in the system that way and just set it up that way, and it goes on the regular check, if that's what you wanted it to do.
Yeah,
Or if you wanted to pay it twice a year, you could do it.
if you want to do it quarterly, you
just
can do it
separate
quarterly
the
that
thing.
way.
There is a way in our system to be able to do that
You
without,
could do it,
without running another payroll.
They're just gonna get one check that's gonna list what they're being paid for that much.
Yeah,
and I, just because I've been part of this from the beginning, not at Newburg, but as a superintendent, part of the reason people started doing a 13th check was because they also didn't know how long this was going to last. And they didn't want teachers to get used to having that money.
That was our
monthly
discussion last year too.
And then it go away. And so they just gave it to them all in one lump sum at the end, because if all of a sudden that rug was pulled out from under them and they got it monthly, then they started budgeting based on
They
that,
adjusted
bought a
cost
new
of living.
car or whatever, and then all of a sudden the rug was pulled out from
Guaranteed they're all banking.
Well,
a big wad in a year or two.
under. You
have to.
I think at this
yeah,
point, the
yeah.
40,000 is going to stay regardless of who's funding it. I don't think doing it over 12 months is a big a deal now, because I think it's here to stay regardless of how it's funded. My 2 cents.
Well, that might have been the smartest thing I've
So
heard all night.
why don't we poll the teachers and see how they.
That's what I
like the
was thinking.
displacement.
Could we poll, like, do you want to do it monthly? Do you want to do it
It's
once
either all,
in
it's either all or
December?
none. Can't do one this way and one that way and one.
No, but like
Oh,
the
no.
majority
Okay.
rules.
Majority wins.
And let the teachers decide.
You want one
Like,
check
do I
or do you want-
that 13th
Well,
check? Do
the
I
big
want it
question
split
starting
into
this is,
two,
are we
like in
gonna change
December and
salary schedule?
June and or monthly?
That's
What do you?
That's all, that's what I'm.
If you're talking about the addendums only.
Me personally, I don't want to change salary schedule because I really want to just keep getting as much money from the state as we can. I mean, I know we'll have to eat more, but we're losing money coming in by 15 grand, 20 grand if we change that $1,000. Because there's 23 teachers that it's going to cost us. That's not going to see a difference in their pay, but we're going to see a difference on what we don't get in that we have to pay. About $20,000 plus whatever changes.
That's true.
So
If we did it
I don't know why we would cut our throats on that money when we know that less money is going to be coming in eventually. And why we don't just work on adding that to our addendum and they still see it, but
Well, and here's my deal. State needs to know what they did. And if we adjust ours, they're not gonna know. They're gonna be
No.
like, look, they're doing really well. No, we're
so
not.
I like.
We're trying to do the right thing, but.
No, I really love the fact of us adjusting the addendum,
I remember the.
since we can do that and give them more money.
Me too.
Yes, yes,
That's what retained. That was. Not even retained.
Because
It
it
was a
looks-
big money.
because
It was
it
just,
looks wrong.
it was just to.
To say that that's
their
our
base.
So, yes, and we had a lot
Your
of
numbers.
But our district's 40,000, right?
No, and I totally understand that if the state said we have to go to 40,000, that's gonna kill us. And we're gonna take a big hit. With us being smart with our money, we could take that hit if we had to. We could do it. How long could we sustain it? Now, that's a totally different question, but we could take that hit next year and pay that and change our salaries to make it, and we can make it a few years. We have enough extra money to do
Are you
it. We're gonna
thinking-
die out quickly.
Yeah, plus.
What's your idea? How
Are you
much?
thinking on the addendum
How
then,
much?
we make an adjustment to the addendum so that every single person, because right now, anybody first year doesn't get anything. Second year gets a small amount, I mean, we really increased it. So
Yes.
how does that change to
I think we
try to
may
give
have-
everybody something, if that's
we'll
what we're
have
trying to do?
I think we gotta decipher that.
Yeah,
I thought we already had it in place. How?
Well, because it's a big jump.
big jump to try to reward those people that never saw a raise for 7 years. Because they were 40, 40, 40, 40, 40,
Yeah, because I believe it goes 250, 500, 750, and then it might go to 3,000.
it jumps pretty good. It's,
250, 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000.
Okay.
25.
No, that's not certain.
I'm sorry.
certified.
250, 250, 750, 3,000.
Okay, see, I knew there was a
3,500,
huge.
4,000, 45. Yeah, you're right. I looked at the wrong column.
Well, see, the conversation
Whatever
is there
increase-
something we can do more for our staff? I think we can if we change the addendum. I don't want to do anything with the pay, but I'm not
I
opposed to
think
giving
that
some
solves
more
it,
money
though.
to our addendum.
I think that truly solves it, because if it doesn't report as part of their salary, doesn't impact how much we get on a baseline grant. If we just adjust the addendum, and then I guess what we're kind of talking about is not giving them the addendum in June, we're giving it to them throughout the year.
Well,
Potentially.
I would like to see a staff survey sent out to see what, the majority, honestly, because I think there's gonna be a little bit of division, but and it seemed like they really like.
Do they like the 13th check or would they rather get it in,
Well,
split
the
up?
ones that are getting a small amount
Now,
probably
to
want to
me-
see the 13 check.
I mean,
The one who's getting the larger amount probably want to see the 12 months.
see, my thing
No, I
is, and
would-
I would change it for, what is it, where to jump to it?
I'll do it twice.
So I
a year.
think we have to.
Yeah.
You'd have to go across the board, right? That's kind of like,
Right.
if you're gonna say, I'm gonna
But
say
not
we're
the
at
salary
1,000,
schedule.
if you put $1,000, and that means everybody gets 1,000, and it just bumps them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we want to do that much. This is going to sound greedy or kind of Scroogey a little bit, but the younger ones are already getting a lot more money.
Yeah.
Already. That's why we have such a big jump.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. No, you're exactly
So,
right.
I would honestly like to see
So we
our
want to
veterans
extend
get more
some to each
than what
category.
we give.
So maybe we want to do it like we did last
scale.
year with the
I sure
regular.
wish I could remember how we put it together last year. 'cause it
We
seemed
have
like
it.
It was pretty
Do you want
fair.
to see it?
No, I mean, I
Well, what
started
I
to read
did
it
was,
off, but
I
don't
went
remember
through and
how
I
we
looked
came
at how
up with
many
the
people,
Yeah. I don't recall either.
I just went through and I looked at how many people were at each
Get
one.
closer to that percentage of difference between 33.6 and.
So I remember there was some method to that.
We didn't get close, we got closer. That $3,000, we went to that 10 to 14 years, gave them a pretty good percentage. It didn't give them the total percentage of the difference.
Yeah.
But it
Am I,
gave
am
them
I wrong
quite a
that, when it jumps to the larger number, there's only like 6 or 7? that
Yeah.
have-
It's very small, it's very
One
small
for next
number.
year.
No, there's another one in there. There's more.
No, I think,
I think there's 7.
From 750 to 3,000 was one thing.
No, I do.
No, no,
And
no. There should be.
there's
23.
7, but you're looking at classified. We already talked about classified. So if we do this,
I'm
we'll
looking at
separate out certified. There's one certified.
There's only one that gets the upper number. Don't we have
That's
30
what-
certified
I'm
staff?
Like, on the same.
We have
Did I not just look at that?
We have 30 certified staff, yes.
So there's 29 that get the lower amount?
18.
Well, when you say lower, I mean, then the 20 to 24 is a pretty good amount.
What
So
number is
just in
that?
the very top, there's, right now in the 2024 for this next year is none, but in the 15 to 19, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, that's what I was
So
asking.
you're kind of looking
No,
at.
no, we have 250, how does the numbers break out?
18 and 280.
All right, the second one has,
5.
yeah, there's 23 that get the lower numbers, and there's 7 that get the higher number,
Okay,
correct?
That's right.
yeah,
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And that's from 3,000 up,
Yes.
right?
10 and above.
I thought I had
You got it.
that. I would
Well,
like
you
to
got it right
see us,
on, yeah.
I would like to see us make a change in that 3,000 up substantial. So it's noticed. And the other that they feel it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I want everybody to be appreciated, in my opinion, but the big push has been for veterans to see the difference. I want them to see. That's my thought.
Well, hopefully it gives the incentive to the younger ones to stay.
Yeah, that as well.
The vet is like 250. But yeah, they are, but I would like to see that change. Yes,
I mean,
that's why their number is so much smaller. But that's just but I want to see, I would like to see the veterans feel the impact first.
Okay.
But anyway, we got to get back to the other thing because we're kind of off here.
We have,
No, but we do have to approve something tonight, so that's why.
Okay.
Okay, we could do it then, yeah, we
I
could.
mean,
no restriction.
Well, it gives me a minute to put some things together.
well, the other part is, well, because it is a different conversation. It says certified salary. Does it have to be, can that?
Yeah.
That's my question. Because your thing, our agenda says certified salary. Does it have to be base salary stuff, or can that
We have anyone.
title include the agenda? So we can, if we could make you something.
You don't have to
Call it
do it
whatever.
all. You can wait till you get
Yeah,
a
we-
solid number. You can just
we
do
can
it
wait.
all.
Yeah, we could just do the
Just do the first
AB
two.
and the SAT and hold off on
I wouldn't do it.
that.
till
Work
you
on the
get-
addendum and then we could approve it in August.
That's just- My opinion is we had changed the addendum and we based it on keep our reimbursement. That's my opinion. I'm good with the first two items. I think that's no brainer. Numbers are numbers.
It's just
Okay,
like
so-
making it clear for us.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about dollar amounts. So we can get, so you have to build into addendum. Let's keep it working the addendum. We know what kind of money she's talking about at the end for it to match. $2,600 with $105,000. You can't do that. So if we did 1,000, that's like 48,000, 45. 45.
That's if we did 1,000.
That's if we did 1,000. On the base,
Each
that's
position.
what that would cost us.
So you just gotta figure out how to make that base we talked about going into
So-
addendum, is that correct?
Well, my thing is, don't care so much, I do care the number. I don't care so much if it goes to the addendum, what everybody feels good with there. I don't care if it's 1,000
Figure
or
out what
2,600.
number we're going.
So
But
if he's playing it off of 1,000, then you get about $45,000 that I can play
Yes.
with to show the.
To figure out where,
If that's what we're comfortable with. It gives me a ballpark to work with.
yes.
I'm even good. I'm even good. That way it can be, but I don't know that we want to impact the 250. As screechy as that sounds. Am I making that?
It's not screwed.
Does that make sense?
It's really not.
Because they're
That's what I
getting
get.
a big
They're
bump
already getting
already.
the 40.
Yes,
Alright.
and
We're just need to lock down
there's,
the number.
It's,
anytime you have, there's freezes, you know, for 3 years.
you're making
I
it
mean,
messy.
there's,
It's so simple
I'm in
just
a
to add it
freeze
to
for
the
2 years.
base.
No.
right now,
Base
I'm
is where,
buying-
base is where it's so simple.
That's
You're
just
making
giving
it-
away
you're making it-
reimbursement money from our
You're
taxpayers.
making it messy. Don't make it messy.
Cost us 45 or 1,000 of our own money to do it that way.
Plus it's 20 grand.
All right,
It's plus
20 grand.
20 grand down the road anyway. It's 20
I think we
grand.
got
It's nothing in the
three
bucket.
road
20
money.
grand is nothing. 20 grand is nothing to our budget. It's a $5.2 million budget. 20 grand is nothing to that.
I don't see why we waste 20 grand coming to it.
Don't waste it.
We kind of
Give it to
do.
them. Give it to the teachers. They
But
get
we're not
they
getting
get
that
20
back.
grand.
That's
Okay,
what-
that's true.
That could go somewhere else.
That's true. You're right about that.
Put that 20
To
grand
me,
away
that's a
for down
misuse
the
of
road.
taxpayer funds to just
making
give
it
$20,000,
messy.
$25,000.
We disagree.
No, that's okay,
Yes, of course.
but I don't see the point of just giving away 20, 25.
Your idea is that you're giving away, my idea is that we're giving it to the teachers. See it differently to do.
Yeah, I think we can still give it to the teachers, but it has more impact, less cost to the district.
It's messy.
It's no cost to the district.
Yes. Anyway,
Yeah, we gotta decide what we wanted to do. Either we want to try to manipulate it now and be done with it, or we try to let them give numbers to bring back to us, because we gotta do something the first week in August, because we will have to have a meeting the first week in August. But we got a couple people we have to hire.
Well, I think we just
We could-
Figure it out.
give Tracy a number and
Get her done right
and then
now.
bring it back in August.
get it, you know, step, however your steps got to
Why put it
be.
off- why put it off to August?
Right now?
Just- How we want to do it?
Big
I'm gonna print out that scale.
What if?
addendum scale.
Let me see the numbers.
Just exited it out. Give me another minute.
Because that was in June, right?
She's exited out.
Sorry, it's coming.
That was in June.
How many prints, Tracy? You print a bunch?
I will. I'll print one for everybody so you can look at it. And then I'll print the list of staff, so you can kind of see who, you know, how it impacts. I go to.
I'm following
I'm
them.
glad you said that.
Right there.
Oh, it's not gonna print on how.
It's gonna be whatever we set the next amount of time. You know, if we did the 2,600, that's $105,000. If we did half it.
What is it?
650. But how do we disperse that number out? I think it was heavy on veterans.
Same
What
formula
you
we
need?
set it up with.
Yeah, I'll see if I
That's what I'm trying to
Did
figure
everybody have a
out.
copy?
Yeah, well, you just give, yeah.
Whatever percentage that is.
Because the big thing is I don't know how we got from there. I don't remember how we got from there. How we got from 750 to 3. But that's where the big jump comes from.
There's a couple of extra copies for those.
Because the big thing is having learning how to do it has not very good savings, which is a little on the lower end, which
Yeah.
is 23 department.
Thank you.
It's not that much money.
Okay, well, we get her,
Yeah,
we get
more
her
higher.
water. for
Even
darn
if you gave them
I think
1,000 fees, that.
I gotta go to the restroom, and I'm like, you know, I'll be gone for 10 minutes. If there isn't one, I think, Doug, do you have a water facility in your office?
Probably one of mine.
There, I think there's some in here too.
Oh, it might be down there.
Well, I mean, there was a charge for drinks for Simile, so I'm assuming his refrigerator is full.
He's got to buy his car somewhere. I still don't know what you're talking about.
On the reimbursement here, it says John Simile, drinks, $35, so I was just trying to.
I don't drink nothing but water.
Do the pants, John.
Well, if you don't know what, we don't know either.
Oh, that's so much.
He just hands out his card and don't even know.
State the chief.
Yeah, John Simile, drinks, 58.88.
Walk in, it's right to you. Make a mess, do my madness.
Let's table this for a second.
Yeah, let's just wait for a minute. Yeah. Come back and catch it. Move on to the next slide for a second. John had
Some
talked
stuff
to us
is
about
hard.
that he can treat us later.
You bet.
You done there?
Yeah, would that make sense?
So, what we lost. As soon as they get.
Yeah.
I agree.
I just wanted to get him.
That's hard.
You bet.
They understand. So I started seeing it in my hand, and now he's
So then
been.
when she asked me, I'd say, I'll send an email that I already got. I sent it to you last night.
They had to.
Yeah, because we can do.
Yeah, I just sent you an email that I already sent you.
Well, I was checking there first.
I do. Do we need retro schemes?
We'll wait for her to second. Daughter's good.
So where's Mr. Simile?
Exactly.
He's probably one of them.
He doesn't got into.
Oh, I thought it was. Years or something. I thought it was years.
Then you start going through.
That's a good question.
Here's the service.
Oh, yeah, I just probably.
I thought we did it for years of service. Okay. I wish we would.
Wait, did he say there was three
We get him.
in there?
No, I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see a big benefit.
That's not what we did. I see that. I understand that point. But that's not what we did.
What does that change in our numbers?
Changing around a bit. A lot.
So,
We
It
did
moves
that.
everybody on the high.
That's a lot of people. You're talking about $200 to $4,000. Can't
Oh,
sell-
no, I don't.
Can't sell that.
How many?
Several.
so I want to ask a quick question before we start doing this. Are we talking about not raising the base salary at all? I want to, so one of the things that you and I talked about when we met this week was about where we're going to land at the end of this year. We're going to land about $800,000 more than we thought we were going to land. We already have reserves of 70%. We're going to increase that quite a bit.
You're saying we're gonna land 80,000.
We are just increasing how much money that we're sitting on right now.
Higher.
And at some point,
I was making good. When she said that, I was like, oh, wait.
what's that? What?
I was unsure if that was in the negative or the positive.
Black
In
or
the
red?
plus. We
Yeah.
landed much higher than what
Black.
our budget believed that we would. We got the small schools grant, we had a couple of teachers in there. There's a lot of money sitting in there, and we were already sitting at quite a good place. We're already well above where we would really be expected to be. If we still do not give an increase to the base, we're probably going to trigger DESI at some point to say, why are you sitting on so much money and not paying your teachers? And then they bring in an audit. I don't know where that would go.
Why don't you just
To
put the
look
money
into
on,
things a little
more
bit
money on
more.
addendum?
I thought it was years.
If you feel we need to eat up some of that money,
I think we need to do
Put it on
something
the
to the
addendum.
base.
you know,
I feel like we should do something to the base. Maybe not as much as I suggested. I realize that was a huge suggestion, but I also want to recognize that we're sitting in a good place. And for this year, not looking ahead, but for this year, we were still $57,000 on the plus by doing that. And we still had $800,000 left last year. So I just think we ought to be doing some considering of something to the base to show that we're transitioning some of these excess funds to our staff.
What is our base?
33.4.
Looking at this, I know, but I just don't.
I don't know. By doing the addendum, I think we are transferring funds to our staff. And by increasing that, I think. But I personally, in my heart, have a hard time just cutting back on the money that we have available to receive by a number on a piece of paper. That's where I have a hard time with that, because the only thing it affects, because these other people that are in that first, the 23, the only difference they're going to see is that we changed the number on a piece of paper. The money they get in their paycheck is no different. Really, I mean, it is a little bit, but not significantly for the cost that it cost us to do that. When we can still give them that money in a certain way, but still receive reimbursement at the same time. That's where I have difficulty. Because I would give all of our teachers $1 million a year, but I can't do that. But I can't give away reimbursement money whenever to come in, and we can still give them money that they can see and spend. Now we have to be good stewards and understand that this Wolf addendum money is money that we're doing that salary makeup with to a certain extent. And if we ever have to make that 40, then this goes into that. You know, now it's minimal, but it will absorb some of that cost. But I understand the reserves and that we've got a lot of money in it. But that's because we watched our nickels and dimes and things like that. And that won't be there.
We used our ESSER money very
We did.
very well. We did our ESSER money in a way that protected and gave the district dollars.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay? So we purposely built our funds with the ESSER money. That's what you were supposed to do with it. That's what we ended up, that's what we did. We were smart with that ESSER money. So that's how we sit where we sit, is because of that.
Yeah.
And how they wrote how we could use that ESSER money. Well, we took full advantage of that.
What,
And we should have. So I don't feel bad about that. I don't feel bad about where we are with our reserves.
what in the Frisco week, what is the base?
If it's not, I think we change it to.
Where are we at?
We're probably in the middle somewhere, Darla. We're probably in the middle somewhere, or down a few, but there's
So
not
let's
many
Let's move this.
that are
Let's go
much
through the
in,
first two parts.
on the
So what
base.
if we did the base pay, just add
Let's, you wanna,
600?
Right.
you wanna table this?
Or-
Let's
I think
get-
that'd be wise.
Because there's some major
So then
confusion
what?
here.
So I know that Mr. Simley may be here to talk about the pads. He may want to go home, so let's stop this discussion.
You almost may want to see if he's going to get more money.
Let's move on.
You might have been more invested than you thought.
Let's move on to our other items on the agenda.
I want to hear this too.
So he can then make the choice of whether he stays or goes home.
But then it's in his court.
But then it's all up to him.
Yeah.
So let's just table this for just a second. We'll come back to it in just a few minutes, but let's move on in our agenda so we can then spend the time we need to on the salary part. We don't have to worry about what else is coming up. We'll move straight into under D for discussion of facilities plan. In that is the approval of the gym padding for both the little gym and the big gym. And Mr. Simley, do you want to talk about 30 seconds on that?
Patty?
30 seconds, go.
I need to tell Mr. Dunn that when he told me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look at you, go up in
So
July.
informative.
Try to be nice.
Anyway.
So what's the question?
Anything
Again.
on the
Just tell us
padding,
about
just go through it just a little bit.
You got 3 seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're already down to
so
20.
basically replacing the pads in big gym and the small gym.
That's on the wall and along the stage down
Yes.
here.
Yeah, and when we first set it up, I didn't even look at the old gym, but I'm glad we did, because one end
bad.
didn't even have a pad.
Yeah.
There's not even one there. The other end, it looks terrible. And the big gym, it's getting pretty wore too, so they've agreed to pay. Now, what we did talk about is the installation. And I did call him and send a text, and I haven't got a response. Since we've got the pads paid for, if it costs us a little bit to have them installed, I mean, that's the only thing that'll be out of our pockets, the installation. I would hope they might come and install them for us, but I don't know that. Because I don't know if they have somebody that does that, company we got them from.
Well,
So-
if not, we can find somebody to install them for,
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking, that can't be a $2,500 deal, I wouldn't think. James, you think? Something like that, maybe?
Did you all get a picture of them?
Yeah, artwork approval.
Those bigger than what's on there now?
And I haven't approved any of it yet because I was waiting till tonight. We will have to add the bank's logo on there, which that will not be a problem. It's the same size as what's on there, in the big gym. It's the exact same size. For some reason, the old gym, they were different sizes. Like I said, the one's down, it's not even on there, but I have no idea. I couldn't figure out why it was a different size.
Didn't those used to be
They
there
came from here.
years
That's
and
probably
years
why
ago?
they're
I
different
think they
size.
plunged
There you
those
go.
That
in
makes
there.
sense. That's probably, because it makes no sense for them to be a different size in there,
Yeah,
because the walls are
they're,
identical.
yeah.
So I was lost why they ordered different sizes, but
Well, I don't think, I think it was just a hand-me-down, John.
that's why.
There.
So I did order the same size, so they'll match.
That cost was around 13,000.
Yes,
Plus installation.
it added about $2,000, I think, for those, the small, which
Yeah, it went from 10 to 12.
we use the same mascot, pretty much the same mascot that's on our chairs. It's the mascot everybody likes.
It's the mission, well, not, it's on our mission.
And we try to match the
page,
colors to the bleachers and the floor. I don't know if you've seen the floor now with the volleyball lines, it looks excellent.
I actually have not.
It looks like
Thanks,
excellent.
Keith.
Really good.
Yeah,
Good.
it's pretty neat, but I'm just an old guy that likes.
I'm sure it looks awesome. Glad that we added that to our facilities.
I think it'll be a big improvement.
Keep digging. Keep digging.
At the end of this day, buddy, I'm gonna blow my trumpet.
It's your
Both getting off.
Anyway, I'll make a motion that we approve the pad installation for both gyms.
I'll second that.
Now, we're approving
I'm gonna be
the
in
purchase
favor.
of pads, right? We haven't got an installation charge, right? So we just approved the purchase of the pad.
And then if you get installation, we're gonna have a meeting, sounds like the first part of August.
Well, if
We
it's
can
not
approve
like
your-
3,000, we
Carl.
can just do it. We don't need that.
Don't have to be in the
Yeah.
Oh, excuse
I'll
me.
do my best to get them installed.
Yeah. Good.
Well,
You'll be up here installing them. Now, hold on.
You don't want that.
we have a motion, Mr. Birdsong, go second to approve
I
the
second.
purchase of padding. Second, by
Second
Mr.
that.
Shear. For a cost of 12,700
Ish.
Don't have it from
I can't remember. either.
And Mr. Simley, if you don't find out anything on installation, probably between Matt, James, myself, we might be able to get you some contacts on people that,
I bet they have somebody.
Probably can, I don't know if I'm coming or going most days anymore, so.
That's not gonna work exactly.
Follow through is terrible anymore. I'm more out.
Did we all keep,
It's
okay?
1099.
I don't know what
I think it's right up there.
all those in favor?
Oh, yeah, all those in favor.
it. Thank you.
Motion carries 7-0.
My hand was getting tired, but
On to the paint, is that next?
how you're rolling this. You wanna move over here?
Ken. Painting project.
Sorry, I'm pulling. The total,
With paint was 14,
14,800. That's with them buying the paint. So that's fine.
And what all
To
were
me,
we
it seems
painting again?
simpler to do.
9,700 square feet of block.
Where that tuck pointing and stuff was at.
Block
The
walls,
whole
soffit.
end of the building here,
The element.
the whole back, yeah, and in the back, and all that cinder block area, so just not our brick. Cinder block, and then it goes down here to the annex and hits the annex around that, hits the soffits all around.
It's quite a bit.
They're
It's
gonna
a
power
large
wash all that.
space. What?
So they're gonna Power
He's
Wars.
charging $1 a square foot. And we thought that was pretty good when my understanding is it's $2 to $3 a square foot for a lot of painters. So,
But they'll do all the cleaning as well to get it prepped?
we haven't talked about that at all, but somebody's going to do the prepping because we wanted to.
Prep
go on
and
that.
paint.
Well, the
So
prep
either
and
we'll
paint-
do it or we'll.
The painter preps his own work,
Okay, then I
Yeah.
will.
or we're out.
And it
That's-
says it right here.
because
it?
when-
Oh, does it say it?
Prep and paint.
Sweet.
Painting a 9,700 square foot Power Wars,
All right.
soffits.
So the only
Did not
thing,
catch it.
make sure that we trap moisture in the block and block solids. Just make sure that we're doing it right. That's all I ask, 'cause it is cheap. So make sure we're using the right stuff, and doing it right. That's all I.
So he's gonna use this conquest.
I don't know. I just know that I've seen results of it not doing right. It's-
Oh, you can just roll the latex on that block, it'll just.
Like right off.
When you trap moisture in the block, blocks off.
Mhm. Just crumbles.
Yeah.
Motion to do so, Mr. Birdsong, second, Mr. Thompson, to approve the painting bid for
$14,800.
$14,800. Further discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Motion carries 7-0. We'll do this parent square of communication real quick.
We can do it real quick. Josh had a little bit of info. I dropped something in your packet. He's been working with this company. Really, it gives us a chance to transition our website over. Nicer, fresher look, updates us quite a bit.
What
Gets
do you
us
got?
an app. Sorry.
We don't see a 14,800 bid.
Yeah, it was 14,800.
Oh, did I misprint? I'm sorry. It would, the 14,000 that includes the paint. What amount? is it
Okay.
again?
We want to make sure,
Yeah.
14,018.
So it's $18.
Yeah, $14,018.
That's okay. We just want to make sure.
Probably didn't have my glasses on.
You didn't. You were doing this.
I was, and I was like, is that
I
a?
was like,
And then there's the memory of how much? Oh, it's 800.
There's an 8 in there somewhere.
I got an 8 and a 0. Okay, sorry. Thank you.
Oh, good.
And so then this would include also an app and then communication. I think we have a lot of wonky communication where different people are using different things, Dojo versus Remind versus some Infinite Campus, and if we could bring it all into one
So this will
umbrella.
take care of athletes and everybody will use this.
Now, here's the thing, that's our hope. What I don't want to do is approve it tonight because Josh is a coordinator for this guy to do a Zoom meeting with the admin team when we get back in.
Oh, so this is
they're coming back.
informational.
It's informational only, so you guys kind of know what's coming. And then I want to get with the admin team to make sure that they put their stamp of approval on it before I expect,
Yeah.
before I.
Because I wouldn't want to do it if we're still going to have people using
I
14
agree.
different apps, then, I mean,
That's
the
why I
website
was-
part
Yeah.
is awesome because we need to do something.
And the app will be great
Yeah.
to have that, but a lot of people using Parent Square. I went really fast because I know they're kind of thinking about time. But do you have anything to add to that, Josh?
Not really, like you were saying though, people, right now we have 14 different apps going on
I
that
know.
would consolidate all into one.
I've been in the mix of that.
Yeah, it would
It's awesome.
consolidate all into one on both the parent and the administrator end of things.
You would think we've got parents with 3, 4 kids here.
Oh,
and
be
they all
online
have
here
to
for them.
communicate differently.
Yeah, and then their smart sites integrate with that as well. I actually pulled up an example of, so like, this is the site that we have right now. It's, you can tell it's pretty older looking and
Yeah,
stuff like
antiquated.
that. It's got all these long lists
Antiquated.
everywhere, stuff like that. And this is an example of like a Parent Square website here. You can see it has all the nice buttons. It's very nice and interactive. You see all the pictures of what's happening
Yeah.
on campus.
Now, once they transition over, will we maintain it then, or will they be a part of
Go-
maintaining it?
So yes, we would be maintaining it after the transition, but they help with the transition process and everything. I've sat through demos of the back end of configuring things once it's on us, and it looks really easy and simple to use. I couldn't see any issues with us learning how to use it or anything. And like here, you can
Do
see
they
this.
offer to maintain it? Or do they just,
That's a good question. I'm not sure if
I'd like to
they,
know that.
yeah. I'm not sure if they offer TV.
I do like having a calendar like that on the webpage,
Might
like
be
current,
easier
up
for
to
us
the
to
current,
maintain it.
this is what's going
Yeah.
on.
Well,
Exactly.
no, I
Right.
think we need to be able to update.
Okay, maybe we're talking about two different
But-
things.
Yeah,
So
but
this is actually here.
once they redo it, are they completely done, or can they help us maintain it?
I see, you're talking about the
Any
site.
He's talking about
not
the site,
The site.
not the info.
Josh, they'd probably help us maintain the site, wouldn't they?
Oh,
I don't-
yeah,
I don't-
yeah.
If we
this-
wanted to change themes or do something, they'd still be the.
Yeah, yeah, they have the continuing support.
That's my-
The duration.
And
And
how,
we would
and
update
do
them
we have
on-
the contract for that separately is a question, than what you're. That's the question.
No, I'm pretty confident that is including the.
Adam just wants to see it in writing.
I'll verify that whenever we meet with them.
So the
again.
next time, whenever we ask this, you're gonna say, I am confident.
Yes. Yes. But yeah, these are all stuff that, it synchronizes the website with the app, with Facebook, all the
Which
above.
is tremendous.
Post in one place, goes.
Yes.
Right.
It connects
Yep.
everything.
You have to post it in one place.
TikTok, Instagram.
So we use it in Rolla,
You do.
Oh, do you
and
use parents?
yeah, we use
Yeah.
Parent Square, and I really like it.
There's a
Um,
lot of places that use it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
from
I
my
hadn't heard of it before, and then we
understanding-
started researching and.
if you
It's
do, if you
widespread.
just create a group, then like, they can do junior high basketball, junior high volleyball, and then whatever gets sent out gets sent to the people that are, in that group. So,
I think it's.
I'm gonna ask you a question, because
yeah.
I think the lingering question for our athletic department, our activities are, sometimes there's a need to have a back and forth conversation. So if the
So
coach
you-
sends out, there's no practice, and the parent says, ooh, have him ride home with Johnny, like, some kind of communication, I don't know if it's that, but.
you
Can
can
you do
do
that?
private, yes.
Okay.
So you can do the group,
Mhm.
like, I can choose to send to my entire class, or I can just check the parent. Or,
But I mean, can the parent respond back to you?
yes.
Just you
Yeah,
individually.
Just,
Perfect, okay, so that was gonna be
So
probably
it
a
can be
sticking
all
point
group, or it can be
for our,
individual.
for.
You can reply to the group or you can reply individually,
Yes.
basically.
Good, 'cause
And
we
then
were-
you can
and I
put
think-
calendar stuff, you can put,
No, I think
Every
I've seen it a
day.
little bit. I think it's great. But my thing for me is the maintenance side of it. I'm not worried about us taking care of local,
I'm with you now.
but we're gonna have some fingers on the backside to help suggest some bigger.
Yeah. Yep.
So as the, probably a question we have to ask the teacher or sponsor, teacher and sponsor, or is it somebody?
it would be him, probably.
It
I'm
ties
sure he
with
sets
our
up all the
information.
groups,
So
probably.
once the classes are made and the groups are made, then he adds them in, and then you have complete access. But there has to be an admin, tech that inputs it into there.
So, right, it synchronizes with our student information system, so it pulls all the data from there. So it's automated. It's not a manual process of going in.
Well, I think the
Yeah.
big question is, so when Mr. Simile has a basketball group, does he have to look to you to make that group? Or can he make it himself because he knows exactly what's in it?
The ones we're doing now, our coaches in it.
Yes. Because you don't wanna have to do it.
I'm on all of them.
So
You wanna
I
see
can
it.
add.
my
coaches.
experience with this is once they're inputted in, he has to be the one to input them. So like if he has the roster, then he just creates it for the admin. So but then he can add, like if he wants to create a separate group or then
Once
you
the
can
full
do that.
roster exists,
Right.
you break it down into small groups as
Right.
needed. And I would think in
So-
my past experience with Apogee,
Just for all
that
athletics, you
the tech director created all the
I
groups.
don't know because
And
I
if we
don't have
needed a
any
new
kids
group
in the
because it just didn't work for us, we just submitted to them, can you put this in a group and we make them. So I think that some will pull from empty campus rosters from sports. But bus as well, grade level as well,
General
classes, you could have those kind of
The
things.
thing is the
Mr. Hildebrand could send it out to his yearbook kids. You could create those through Infinite
The
Campus.
thing is, you're
Some
not
will
gonna
be
want
made.
all of our teacher
Teachers,
groups
maybe
to have to go through Josh to make
Just
those groups
another
be,
layer.
because that's too much changing inside. It needs to be, our teachers can think, well, listen, I think that these are my students, here's how I'm gonna communicate. He does- Now, he may have to put all the students in the whole.
Yeah, and so I would think that's
But
probably.
once the coach our teacher breaks it out, then it's their choice to pick who's in that.
So we could ask that as we kind of do our
Wait.
follow-up with them and see how that all's going.
Because if you can't create your own group system, that's good. Because you can't wait a week to have it happen. It's gonna be like,
And I know that there's by user, you can add different rights as well, so I could add the rights for those users
Right.
to create those groups if they needed
which
to.
you know that.
Like
The
Mr. Assembly
AD
can create
would need
any
that,
athletic
but
group you
maybe
want.
not-
Pull them out.
It's granular permissions, so it's
Yeah.
by user, you choose what permissions they have. They can,
He's probably
if they
gonna
make
want his
new-
basketball coach. And then Mr. Simmons.
That's what we do now.
You'll have more,
But anyway, so there's
you'll
a
have
lot of questions tied to that.
more information coming in August.
oh yeah.
Questions, comments on that? Go back up to the other part. You're welcome to leave anytime you want to, or stay as long as you want to. Okay, we are in organization, so you can do what you want. Okay, but I wanted to give you the option. We said there all the time.
And I did look on the quote, the onboarding cost includes ongoing help and support via email, chat. It's throughout the duration of the contract.
We do an annual.
Yep, it's an annual payment and then that onboarding cost is just the one time. So as long as we do that annual, then we would continue with the ongoing support.
Okay, so back to the other part. I'm gathering that there's very little support in having two phase. So I just need to not talk about having two phase.
I'm not opposed to doing a $600 because I get your point, but I also get that putting that out there when you're putting that on your website as the base pay, and then it just kind of prepares us in the long run. So I'm not opposed to doing, I don't think I would do 1,000, but I would do a $600 to bring it up to 34. I know that we're getting free money. I get that.
Where's the cutoff?
What's the cutoff on what?
The grant,
What do you mean?
like before we start.
I don't understand your question.
So you're saying we get X amount of dollars from the state?
It's anything less than the 40,000. I mean,
That's what I was.
I mean, if our base was 30,000, the state would kick in the rest.
Kick in 10.
10.
yeah. So in
Whatever
any,
the- whatever the
so
difference.
basically, any adjustment we make to our base is that much less reimbursement. I mean,
I still want to do a bunch of work here. I want to make sure we're going in the right direction. There's not much support of changing the base, and let's put our efforts, all our efforts into the addendum change. Okay. Help you do that. But the easiest way is to change the base. It's all done. That's just my opinion. Doesn't mean anything.
I want to say something else because it's something you guys need to consider. Your extra duties are all paid off of your base salary. If you never change your base, your extra duty stipends never raise. Your coaches don't get a raise, your extra duty people don't get a raise. All of those stipends remain the same if you don't change your base.
But we review those and make changes in the future.
Yeah, the
Percentage-wise.
percentages.
You change the
I'm just
percentage.
saying,
We
they
change
don't-
percentages.
They don't get a step, they don't, if your base stays the same, those stay the same. So it's just been forgotten.
So there's some mass confusion on maybe how some of this, for me, and for Adam too. So how it got here, this is going off your service in our district.
That's good.
Your service, so like, some of the, this is backwards.
See, I have to say that I was confused as well, because I thought it was on years of service, not years of service with the district.
We talked a lot about a retention idea, about how those people that have been in our district for so long, had not been, or this middle range had not been getting a reward. So that was what
Why we did it this
I
way,
was
I
making,
believe.
yeah, that's how we made this.
Well, if we did it by years of service, it'd be 4 times that.
Oh, yeah, I just went through and did it. But
This is on,
So what does
this
it
is
change?
on retention kind of idea. This was about people who'd been in Newburg, who'd spent their time in Newburg. That's what we built the addendum off of.
to try to retain two. I mean, I can remember the time. I
Yeah.
mean,
That was the mindset that was at that time to
Yeah.
create it. We may be shifting from there now, but that's what
just
we're creating.
doesn't, to me, make much sense. Here tonight, how we did it here. But
It's all about the retention
Or does
and
it
giving
change?
our,
How do you do the-
our staff that had been here for multiple years that had not gotten diddly jack, giving them some
Those people had.
Appreciation. cash appreciation.
Right. Anyway, back, we gotta decide the direction before we can make any more conversation. That's.
Or do we need to? This has to be done tonight.
Doesn't have to be.
I'm just trying to maybe try to get our heads wrapped around it a little bit.
My thought is to, let's give us a minute.
I think this is really the first time,
Let Mrs. Kingsley put together some numbers for us to consider, maybe 2 or 3 different options. Addendum change, bring it to us in August, because we gotta meet the first week of August, or the first full week of August anyway.
I would
We change it-
I would vote for that.
We change it then, gives us a little bit time to sleep on it.
What do we want to see?
That's
I mean,
what-
somewhere we got to decide
Well,
what we
let's
want
give
to
her a
see.
dollar amount, that's what we gotta get to. So 2,600 is 105,000, 1,000 is 45,000. Where do you wanna be? Where do you wanna be for an amount for the district to pay?
Well, I don't know. See, to me, still again,
And it can be 75,000.
that's a little bit of a loaded question because it depends on, because we have so many people in that lower category. If that change is minimal, but the higher categories are more, that number could be 35,000 or it could be 60,000, depending on what we do.
That's right.
So, part of that thought process has to be, do we want to impact the lower couple of grades as much? Or do we want to impact the upper 3 or 4 from the 3,000 on, whatever it is?
Yeah,
35.
that's what that change in base only affects the ones that,
Yeah, but that's just changing numbers on a paper and giving money away, in my opinion.
I know it is.
So I'd rather just put the money to use and we see it.
I heard you say
I'm gonna keep saying it, because you
I know.
keep saying your part.
You're right, I do. I'd be.
You can't throw mine out if you're not. gonna
You're
make your
right.
own.
You can say it. No problem if you say it. I'll agree.
That's okay, because I don't agree with you.
It's
I
fine.
think we're giving money away for nothing.
I can say this, I agree with both of them. I just don't know which way to go.
Yeah, exactly. I see both sides of this.
I don't
What could
mind
be
the
better?
idea of Darla making ours an even 34, because that number just looks a little bit better.
I agree with that.
I don't disagree with that either.
Right.
But I can't do a huge amount.
So do we take part of that and take it, go get to that 34 number and then figure out something else on the.
She's 680,000.
So I can see.
But I think giving
see how
away
it looks on paper.
$600 for every staff member that the state's gonna pay us.
I am not in agreement. Either one. I'm not saying I'm going one direction or the other here.
I know what you're
I'm-
saying.
What I'm saying, I'm not gonna give, if I'm okay giving $600 away, I'm okay giving 1,000. That's all I'm saying.
See, I don't mind her idea. I don't like giving away 600.
Because we're getting all of that 1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, so we're giving, I mean, anything you give away, you give away.
I
If you
know.
don't, if your stance is, I want all the reimbursement. we can
I
get.
think that we label it
That's
as
where-
this is our base salary and we have the potential for this amount in our addendum pay. That's how we show that. We have to show all of our options.
Here's the thing. You can make it real simple. if you want. You raise the base $1,000. It costs us $50-some thousand, $40-some thousand. Hang on, I'm coming with you.
I'm with you.
If we give 53 people, $1,000. It raises us $53,000. Same thing. We're in the
53 come.
30 and 23.
I thought we were only.
Okay, so just look at the 30, plus it's 30,000. You wanted to do, give them 2,000, that's 60. Quit making it so hard.
Are you talking about base or addendum?
Addendum only.
I'll follow you.
Addendum.
I would get somewhat on your road.
That's fine, I got 1,500,
If you-
750
if
broke
you're
down.
gonna- if you're gonna do it,
42, it's
the
62,000.
$1,000 on the base is gonna cost us
20,000 back from the state, it costs us
$48,000.
Yep.
There it is. Put 1,000 to everybody there. Everybody, that's 30 people. That's cost us 30, and 1,500, plus it's 45. You're done. Quit making it hard.
I'm good with that. I like that.
One-time deal,
So here,
1-year deal.
So what, yeah, that's a 1-year deal.
Every year is. That's the problem.
Look at that, Adam, see what you think about that. That's not bad.
But if you break,
That's
try
a
to break it,
simplified way to do it.
okay, if you try to break it all down, you're gonna be all night trying to figure it out.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying. If you're trying to do it, buy it this and 100 here and 300
I don't have a
there.
problem with it.
The only problem is, you're gonna have more than 30
See, and I don't-
because we haven't
I
put
don't
our
mind
first
that we
people.
keep it. We just
As
have
long
to
as-
review. It's feasible.
They gotta get some. How many first-year people do you?
First year.
Yeah,
Across the board, I agree.
Say we're gonna get the
So
$1,000.
each one of them.
So right now,
That's what I'm saying.
our certified
Which is the next one?
you know what I mean? I don't know if we want to do that. If we do want to do that. It doesn't affect anybody who's classified.
No, I'm just saying.
We all do. Yeah.
Right. No, I'm with you. I don't.
Pretty good.
I just, when we were hashing out, I just went across the board, 1,500 certified, 750 non-certified, that's about 62,000. We're gonna get about roughly 20K back from the state, it's gonna cost the district 42,000. In our reimbursement money.
Plus your 58,750 that you already do.
Yeah.
Correct? This is on top of this.
Yes, this is on top.
This is just one time on top, that's just,
1,500 and 5.
But you're talking about classified staff too, I think I heard you
Yeah,
say.
Yeah, it's both sides.
Both
Tell me
sides.
again their numbers.
1,500 on the left side, 750 on the right side. Each.
Across the board. Doesn't matter whether you got
Each
two.
column, I'm sorry, each row gets, this side, each row gets 1,500, on this side, each row gets.
How many did you figure per certain? Get 35, because you get 5 new.
there was 30 on, I just
Fine.
run fast numbers on this. so
Okay, 5, I mean, that's another 7,000. No big deal.
I'm just telling you.
5 more.
5 new staff. Well, we're gonna have 5 new staff members with,
How many did we lose?
well,
We only lost one, but we got 5 more.
we're gonna have a new elementary sped, a little counselor, a new sped director,
Why are you
a new
splitting?
7-9 ELA, and a new band.
But we already had them.
They were in year, no,
Some of them weren't
they
certified.
were, these people are new staff. They're coming into year 1. So they're not on here because it starts at year 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it was retention,
So we're, okay.
so they aren't listed yet.
But we're not paying year 1.
Proposing potentially 2.
No. That's our, for me, that starts at year 2, not year 1. You're changing these levels, current years of service. We're not adding.
Same way we.
No different
Same
layout,
way that.
just different dollars.
Your new people come in, they're still gonna just get paid on the base, whatever the base salary was for them. Everybody else is gonna benefit 1,500? No way.
I know.
All right.
Like you
This
have
whole
to
thing.
give it to everybody.
Well, this thing's,
I think you get the addendum, everybody. This is a 1-year addendum.
well, the addendum always is. We have to put on that addendum every year. That's what we did. We set that up as a year.
You just give across the board 1,500 to every certified, 750 to every non-certified on top of whatever was already on this sheet.
So starting at year one, we give them a bonus, 1,700.
Just give them that. They don't get that 250.
No, because you got year two here, so we could just do year one, this is what you get
Yeah,
this
you
year.
should give 15
You just
instead
give
of
them
1750.
9,000.
We could just
We're
say,
adding it.
this was our choice last year. This year it looks different. This is what you get.
You-
Am I saying that?
You can
Yes,
do
you
that.
are right.
Makes it a lot
Yeah, but the
easier.
thing is, you have to be careful that, you don't want us to have to change drastically each year. If my saying when we change the numbers. So, I mean, I'm okay to give more, but I don't want to go up 3,000 this year and back down to 1,000. I would
I
prefer
get it.
not to do that.
Put it on the base, we don't have to worry.
So that's really the option though.
That is the option.
It really
It's
is.
the only way. It's
And I don't like the base idea either. But I'm not opposed to doing, okay, the first year, you get those numbers that we just talked about, and then after this, we still have the same scale, 2 to 4, and you just add the 1,500 to the certified, 750 to the non-certified for the 25-26 school year.
Let's take a beat. and have Ms. Kinsley send out what that would
Yeah,
cost doing 1,500, 750, 1,500. Give us some options. Come back in August, vote on one of those and be done.
Okay.
Now,
good with that.
Is that,
I want to see it in two forms, how we're currently paying it with staff as they are with years of service at Newburg, and then staff as with their years of service. And how they fall in this group. So
The
we may
total.
have,
Not
can't
you.
afford that. Pete.
I want to see it.
Okay.
First of August.
On these-
Maybe we don't do it.
With these numbers,
With our new number.
there aren't any new numbers. The only
Whatever she proposes to us, I want to see two scales.
Okay, but then that would also impact the numbers that are here.
Yes.
Okay, so you're gonna take these numbers plus the numbers that we're adding to it to go to full years of service no matter where.
Yes,
Is that what you're saying?
yes. I want to see what that number is. Because I don't know, and it may not be feasible, but I'd like to see.
So
what
if
that
I
number is.
came in here with 25 years and I worked here 1 year, I'm gonna get 26 years. So I'm gonna walk out of here with $56,000.
We're talking tax, we're talking dollars. We're getting ready to spend a lot more than we're gonna get back in reimbursement.
I know.
So if we,
That's why I don't like the 1,500 across.
I'm
I
just
think it's
saying,
gotta
I'm just
adjust.
saying back to his base deal, we're getting ready to spend a lot more money than,
Takes all of
of the district's money than what we're gonna get reimbursed
it.
by the
This is
state.
our month.
We're doing that with the other part.
Gotta make good choices. You
I'm
have
just-
way more
I'm just
years.
wanting to make sure you realize that we're gonna go
I do.
backwards real fast on- because
I do
we're talking
understand
about
that,
being-
but I don't like the adjustment of 1,500. Because that's way too much.
Erase that out as Lord. We're gonna, anything we get much more over that reimbursement. It's just money, we're gonna go backwards pretty quick.
We are, but we're already looking at giving them more money than what we are. Either way, we're going back.
I was just doing the same thing.
Well,
We
but
just cleared out
if we
the,
don't get the base,
Because the going to the base cost us $105,000.
put it back to 33.
It cost us
And
$105,000.
so we're back to being on.
That's less money that we have.
I'm gonna change it from
I get that. I
34
get how all that
to
works.
34.
If we change the numbers and add this to what we currently,
We're gonna be,
no, I understand that. That's why
Goes to
I think we need to be
127.
more cautious about
What
the
I said
number
was
that's added to us.
160.
I think we need to add to it, but I don't know if it's 1,500.
What was that number?
This one's 122.
And I don't know that it's the same number.
Okay, so help me
I
make
think
sure
it
that-
is.
One,
Personally,
Make sure
I
that
think that works
I
good.
understand.
670.
I think that's fair to the same number to each scale, because we already have it back scaled, depending on how many years you got.
40,400.
So it's already a step. And now there's still gonna be a step, they're just bigger dollars in the steps for everybody, whether you're here
No, I
year
don't
one
disagree.
or year 25.
But the 1,500 is,
So when you look at the
that's a lot.
scale, when you look at the end of year.
What number do you think?
I don't know.
When you look
I mean,
at
it was really only costing us,
each of her
But I mean, it's just,
there's
if you wanna take
33
500.
the state.
Yeah,
30 people and that's $6, we just need to know.
So, for me to look at that, that's a whole, that's a whole other,
I think
that's a tough one.
better going home and laying on somebody's place.
Y'all figured in. all these figures. So I'd have to go through each individual one.
It's gonna
Now, this-
have her put together, can't kind of number we raised it more.
Okay, I'm good. If we're gonna do even, I'd be good 1,000 for each step on this side and 250 to 500
What
for
is that,
each step.
what's that coming to overall?
So, well, it's gonna cut 30,000 or 15,000 from your number.
With where they are, so depends on their masters, it depends on their second year.
Reimburse back.
It takes a minute to kind of do it. I mean, I can do it, but it just takes a minute to see. how
which we've already budgeted for the first 50, right, man? I mean, that's already. in
We're not
budget.
losing.
No, I'm saying we've already, this is already in the budget. So we're just only adding whatever this would be to the budget. You were willing to add 50 or 60, 70,000. I mean, right now, doing it this way, we're only adding 42. Now you're talking about cutting it back. So you're going backwards. So I'm confused. Do you want to give them 25,000 out of the district or want to give 75,000 out of the district?
And the big number is the one that matters, but see, this is already in the budget. So this number that we're currently
I
doing
know, I don't.
kind of doesn't matter.
What I'm not following is what
Is the number,
Mindy goes,
is your
you were
spreadsheet?
good with.
I am, but you seem like you wasn't good with that because you said we're gonna go.
So-
No, so I come in the middle and I went at 1,500 saying it's too much.
Well,
I came down
I
from
thought
where
you
at.
weren't like that.
And now you're right where I'm at. I'm good with.
Is this,
If we, however the number is, I'm good with 50, 60,000.
Okay,
This to me was.
I,
okay, I misunderstood what you were saying.
here's,
So I was reading you wrong.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right,
these numbers?
I feel
I'm okay
like-
with that.
let's stop saying,
let's,
because I'm, we're beating ourselves, we're getting frustrated. So let's,
Hold on, let me put,
we want to settle it.
what I did.
Which I'm
what I
fine
did was I took-
I do that real quick.
I've raised it 1,000. Oh, I didn't even raise it.
Let's just pick the number. Everybody gets that amount, put on. You can get it certified, non-certified, doesn't make a difference to me. Get your number that you want to be there. We can vote on that. 1,500 was, what was your total, and 750 was,
Statement.
what was the total?
62,250.
Okay, then you gotta add 5,000. So it's 67,250.
So we're almost
67,
70,000 that we're giving back to
Give you
the
that
staff.
answer a little bit faster.
67,250.
And all staff, not just,
That's
35.
additional
58.
to the 58,
yes,
but 58's already budgeted.
yes.
So it doesn't matter. So that's 67 would be about the same as adding 1,800 to the base. Just throwing
No,
out.
I
just throwing out
understand
numbers
exactly, I
to
did
you,
the math back.
So it's about 1,800 to the base.
Which
which is okay. Base stays the same. Adding 1,800, which,
But we're not taking off the
We're
money
not
that we're
taking
gonna
off
get back from
anything.
the state.
Nope.
No,
nope,
hang on.
sorry.
What I'm saying, out of that number that you're saying is 1,800 on the base.
Yes.
Equal to, we are gonna get a reimbursement on the state.
Our reimbursement stays the same because we didn't change the base.
But there will be money that we're given.
We-
But if we were to add some of that to the base, we would lose that money,
We
right,
would.
Matt?
That's
At least 20 grand.
We'd lose, now, doing it this way,
So I'm putting that back in.
You are. So
That
with
takes us
that,
to about
with
50.
that, it's about 50. You're right.
Gets us pretty damn close back.
Yes.
And instead of 100, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, instead of losing,
That's all I was.
so instead of losing
I got you.
That.
75,000 from the budget, now we're losing
You want to do that much?
right.
Yeah, I personally, yes.
Okay.
But I'm just me.
I like the
I
number.
thought you were.
Get it.
So this is how much it would cost us off.
No,
That's why I was saying.
what,
I was just trying to math it out.
Okay, so here's what
what we're.
Matt is saying. Here's the
I'm with you
idea.
there. I'm
Is
with
to take, the 35 people that we have employed, certified staff, that's everybody that we have currently. The 1,500, every single one. For the year.
On top of,
What this addendum already does.
yes,
Okay,
1,500
15
to each layer.
add 750 to everybody non-certified. The 23 that we had.
That's a $62,500 expense.
67, 250. That would be everybody, 67, 250. We get 20 grand
Oh,
back
yeah.
from the state for that, so that's costing us about 50 grand.
Pretty close to what the 1,000 to the base would cost.
Were you getting 20,000 back from the state?
well, instead of putting it on the base,
Instead of losing.
instead of losing it on the base,
That's
Yeah.
all. And it'd be a little more.
We're not really getting it back, but we're
It'd
not.
be a little more than that, actually.
And then we would keep this as the years of, because
yes.
this is about retention.
And the year, this is just added to the current step.
Got it.
Each,
Let's do that.
so if you were here
As
2 years, instead of getting 250, you're gonna get 1,750. If you were here 20 years, instead of getting 4,500, you're gonna get
Yeah,
Not
we're not
6,000
locked in
Yeah.
for,
That's right.
this year.
Every year.
that's what,
That's Adam's concern.
Okay, so.
that was my concern, is
Yeah.
we're stuck there. Can't take
Makes
it
sense,
back.
James?
Players mud, buddy.
1,500,
Oh, yeah.
750 years of service in the district.
Yeah.
We're not
So that it
changing
keeps this as
we're
a
not changing how the
retention.
step is. We're just adding 1,500 to each step on the certified, 750 on each step on the non-certified.
Including year one teachers,
Year one teacher should just
Do
get,
not,
1,500.
Yep,
yes.
yes.
just the,
Year one non-certified would get 750 more. Is that correct? No?
No. I think,
They get 1,500?
because this is about.
Non-certified.
I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Non-certified.
It is, I'm sorry.
Gotta watch that nod.
I didn't hear you. I heard wrong. I just heard certified.
So, but year one certified,
Let's get into this. This is just like-
This is a retention piece.
but this gives year one that bump that
But the
you guys
base-
want.
The base.
The base, basically a bump without bumping the base on year one. They're still gonna get an extra, they were gonna make
Yeah.
41.5, right?
Here's the thing. If you give them the option of taking it throughout the year, they will get used to that. And if we have to go back to just that base money, they're gonna get paid quite a bit less.
I honestly would rather just keep the 13.
I agree with you on that. I think
So
bookkeeping wise,
the easiest thing is to do the 13th check, one check at the end, be done with it.
and they can plan for it. They know in June, they're gonna get whatever their, it's like tax refund money, right?
I'd rather them live each month on what they're truly going to live off of and then get the bonus.
Do we want to ask those who are getting the state grant to move up to 40,000 if they want their 40,000 spread throughout the year? Rather than get a 13th check for that extra.
I'd like to wait this year before we do that and see how.
But I mean, the reason for that is because they're so low, it's
hard to live off of.
It is hard to live off.
I think it needs to be their, like, I'm not one to tell somebody, if they want a big check in June, we'll take that extra money, put in a savings account, let it work for you, do something like that. We don't need to hold their money. I mean, we had piggy banks for the kids.
April
just-
wants
I
to know
agree.
if you're gonna
I
send out
don't-
a
I see
survey
your
after
point.
the year.
I see your
So
point,
are we
Matt.
gonna do a
I agree with
survey
you
or
on
not?
some of that.
I just don't-
It just scares me. But you're right,
But we're big
they're all
people.
they're all
I mean,
adults.
We're all
They're all full adults.
I think we survey staff and we go with majority.
To give it all of them.
Yeah.
Give it to all of them.
Because I think we have to do it one way or the other.
Yes, it would be too difficult to do.
Yes. I-
Pick and choose, gonna do these 5 people this way, 5 people
As
this way.
administrators, do you think we survey staff and give them the option and majority rules? Do you think that's
Or do you just divide it out and go, just add it to everybody's check?
It's in that spot of making it.
I would probably, you would need it.
That's tough.
You would
I
need
think
it.
your younger people that are making less are gonna want that
And
again.
the thing is,
And
it
the other
affects
ones aren't gonna
2/3 of our
care,
people.
so then it's gonna give
Yeah.
them.
So just divide it, whatever whatever the difference is, divide it out over
With the $1,500 bump.
with
that actually
1,500 on
makes a
there.
difference.
Well, we could still pay that wolf stipend at the end in the 13th check. That's totally separate. All I'm asking
Oh,
about
the
is that
40
up
and
to
the-
40,000 amount.
Okay, I see.
Will we have to create a whole new addendum to do it that way?
Okay,
No.
that's all you.
It's just, we already know what
Just
they're making.
bookwork,
It's already
it's
in
just
there.
paperwork.
Yeah.
When
I
it's
think
already
we-
in there, what they're making.
And so then we could put out a survey that says, do you want
Okay.
it spread out over 12 months? Do you want it
I can live with
twice
that.
a year?
Or
do you
once a
want
year.
it Once a
Give
year.
them 3 options,
And
maybe.
majority rules, and that's how we're gonna do it. Is that, yes?
Well, I mean, I'm with Doug though. I mean, I think at 40,000, if you're making a 30, so we're only, our base is what, 32 something?
33.6.
Pardon me, 33.6.
So they're gonna give them 3,000.
33.4, so that's, 6, so that's what, $5,600 that they're getting on the 13th check. And if you're making less than 40,000, you probably need that
I say we
$5,400
just do it if we're gonna do it.
over the,
Survey.
each month. I mean, I would,
Just, if they make 40,000, they just get what they get, the base
what
budget figures in, you just get.
Yeah.
Yes, it's to help them, it's to
And
get them
that's
along.
okay.
On all of the money,
Tell us.
on even the addendum money? pay
No,
each
I'd
month?
probably hold on to the addendum. I feel like that's gonna be
Okay.
year to year.
All right. So we pay anyone up to 40,000, that payment throughout the year, 12 paychecks. And then the addendum money is the 13th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whether it's $1,500 or $5,000.
okay.
Let's do
That's what it needs to be.
I think that'll really help our staff.
So they're, so
It does
basically
kind
their
of what
salary
the raise
is paid
does.
each
It
month.
does the same, it's just not legally
I feel like.
hold us to that. And actually, we're getting them more
Yeah.
than what you proposed, or Doug, one or the other,
Okay.
or what you proposed.
What's
I
less
need
than
to-
what less than what she
Oh.
proposed, but more.
I went through the roof. I said,
Yeah,
"Hey,
you
let's do
like,
it."
you buying a new Escalade. You're in the wrong neighborhood.
Well, here's
You're
the
over there at
thing.
the country club.
We're kind of, we kind of have the money.
Got a motion for it.
Make a motion,
Matt, you make a motion.
Only motioning.
What?
Just what?
what Doug is saying. Like I can.
Let's make sure, let's make sure we get this right.
Let's get our motion ready.
All of our certified,
We're sorry, April.
one,
I'm scratching.
It's usually not this complicated, April, but
first year through whatever, every certified person in the building gets $1,500.
yes,
Every non-certified person is $750.
yes,
That's what we're saying. Let's vote on that first.
yes.
Darla made the
I make a
motion.
motion.
There's Marla with
I will second that.
Doug
motion.
and Mr. Shield. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Matt?
I don't like that idea.
Motion.
All those in favor, that's 7.
Did that-
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
Adam voted.
Matt, you about got stabbed with an
So
pin.
now,
After all that conversation, you bet I voted
When
yes.
you said, is there any further discussion, I'm like, oh, Lord.
now we need to vote on that 40,000, or do we just pay, do we just do
That
it?
doesn't require.
I think
Gotta be a
that's, I think
consensus.
that's a staff.
And the rest of this addendum's gonna stay the same.
Saying we can do that.
Yeah.
This
Well,
retention addendum's gonna really stay the
what we're
same
saying
in the
is-
13th check.
We're gonna pay those that are 40 or less, up to 40, spread out to the whole year.
All the way
Yeah.
down.
Whatever's left,
Extra bonus.
give them
And
at
you
the
have,
end.
and you are,
Done.
voted.
All
You're
right.
set with it
Yay,
being
okay.
years of service
You
in
just-
Newburg.
I think that's a whole nother.
That's what we did.
Yeah, that's a whole,
I know, I'm just clarifying.
Yeah, that's a
That
whole
is what we
nother-
did.
I would like to see you give me
No.
this with, if we did years of service.
He wants to see it now.
Adam, can you give her some time to get that?
Oh, no,
done?
I don't need that today. I don't
Okay,
need that today. We can still
Good.
work
That
on
one
it.
eats stuff.
But I would like to see what that does.
just for curiosity's sake,
I know,
at
but I
time,
want to see it. I wanna
just,
see
we know that's gonna be a big number, but what is the number?
I'm saying,
Let's do it.
no,
All right,
Let's move on.
It's gonna be in that. But
what
let's
else,
think.
what else we got going on here, Board President?
set a date for next month. 21st.
And,
Oh,
we'll
man,
all
we
have
got
to get a
town
say
that
in the tax.
day.
So next month, we'll have to do a tax hearing, so we normally do the tax hearing at 6:15 with the normal meeting at 6:30, that's still okay? Be the 21st, so we'll be here for a tax rate, hearing at 6:15 and board meeting at 6:30. Everybody good with that?
Excellent.
Okay, we need to have at least an executive meeting to hire first week in August. What's your dates, the 4th, 5th, or 6th?
At this point, my calendar is wide open.
Ask for the fifth, if we can do
Oh,
it.
Okay, Mr. Kingsley would like to have the 5th.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, the 5th,
That'll be a short executive
It'll
meeting.
be a short and sweet.
just like this meeting was supposed to be
Yeah,
home by now.
Hey, but we did get some good stuff
We did.
accomplished. I think at the end, I think we did
The
the
fifth
right
is good.
we gotta
thing.
feel good about what we're doing.
Yes. Yes.
The 5th of August, okay for everybody for that meeting?
Works for me.
6:30, okay?
Fine.
Is that okay, James? Okay, 5th of August, we'll do, right now, it would just be an executive meeting, because that's all we need to do. If we have something in the meantime that comes up, we may have to have a short open session.
I'd like to see some numbers on this.
I'll try. Let's-
Okay.
Well, here's what's hard is sometimes when people were hired
How many years they had.
and how many years they had, that's what makes it a little difficult. Some people trying to figure out exactly how many years they go and how.
I mean, Adam, I actually want to see what you're looking at. I just know it's gonna take, it's a
It
lot.
takes a little bit of digging.
It's a lot of digging, because I would like to see what that would be, just out of curiosity, for not just years of service in Newburgh, but what if we did.
I hope we can see it.
We need
Motion.
a motion to go ahead and close.
There's a lot that goes in it.
Motion, Mr.
There's a lot of
Berkshire.
digging. I do paperwork every day.
I want it to be
I have a
accurate.
motion, to go into
There's a
executive.
lot of different-
Mr. Berkshire made the motion, Mrs. Wells made the second. Do a roll call. Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mrs. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Shear?
Yes.
Berkshire?
Yes.
Here. Mr. Birdsong here. Yep, we're all here.